Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. And I am Bro.Nasir. Hope everyone's enjoying their beautiful Sunday afternoon. This afternoon, we're going to go over BT's Black Man's Vomit. They call it a summit, but it's a bunch of regurgitated nonsense that we heard before, fear-mongering and buffoonery. We're going to go over that. I have my brother T. Riggles with me to help me make sense of this debauchery. Once again, the Democratic Party exploits so-called Black men in the attempt to sway our people towards the Democratic Party and their candidate. Their motives are always impugned with the stereotypical pandering, thinking that they relate to us through who we like as entertainers. My sentiment is how they pander to us, is how they see us, attempting to influence us through who they control, especially our young people who are first-time voters. I know my people. I know how they think because for years we were taught to think a certain way. So let me clear this up from the beginning. Just because I don't support one party, it doesn't mean that I support another. I will never attempt to distinguish the Democratic Party from the Republican Party. It is blatantly impossible for two wings of the same bird, the same unclean and hateful bird, to fly in different directions. The unintelligent fall for that foolishness. Yet, it's very insulting that political parties, that we're so feeble-minded, they think that we're so feeble-minded, that all they have to do is fearmonger, paint each other as the boogeyman, or use an entertainer to influence the masses, making the masses the asses. What's even more insulting is that the entertainer who think they can influence us, the one they use, they think they can influence us. After showing us through their behavior that they think that they have risen above the condition of our people, we must stop being suckers in the political process for any party, the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. BET and D.L. Hughley, for them to think that through other so-called entertainers, that they can influence us and force us to endorse candidates that they put in front of us, telling us we have to choose whatever they put before us, is disrespectful. I don't give a damn about how many, entertainers they put before us. The strong among us, we're going to stand 10 toes down. And Barack Obama, they can't send him to us to talk to us. He can actually go bungee jumping with a long cord and a low bridge. Now today we have grown men talking about how scared they are because of what they think a politician is going to do. Fear mongering. If Project 2025 is what they say it is, if Project 2025 is what they say it is, perhaps it's what our people need. We need something to get us off our ass and organize as a people instead of trying to join parties that we're not invited to. Now, because I speak about Kamala Harris, I know how my people think. Like, as I said, they're going to mention Trump. My answer to that question is, and that situation is that Trump is obvious. Trump is not pretending to be one of us, and Trump lets us know emphatically how we feel about us. He's not trying to be our friend or anything. What you see is what you get with Donald Trump. Trump don't mind telling you how he feel about you. Yet the cackling, the failing to answer the simplest of questions while wanting something from our people is very irritating. The constant mentioning of public service that Kamala Harris didn't render to the people is also irritating, which is something that Black entertainers are constantly doing, trying to tell us that she's been a public servant for her entire life. That's all lies. And they totally undermine people who have suffered by her hands. Now, excuse me, I want to bring my brother, T. Riggles, in so he can give his take on how we feel about the situation. We're going to get into the Black Man's Summit. Again, we call it the Vomit. And now I want to introduce my brother, T. Riggles. Salute, my brother.
Hey, salute to you, enemies public, man. Thank you for having me on. Let's get into it. Let's not play no games. And what I'm about to show you, or what you're about to witness, is a whole script of actors. Like, this Black Vomit almost made me sick after watching it 2 times.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I watched it one time. It was enough, and it was on BT, and it was on BT's what you call it, their YouTube channel. And it was enough for me. Whenever I see, D.L. Hughley, Benjamin Crump, I know it's about to be some buffoonery going on. So seeing it one time was enough for me. I'm able to dissect that foolishness. Even if I didn't see it, I was able to do that. So, it's shameful. It's shameful that our people, after being the suckers for so many years in the political process, it's like getting hit with the same jab. When they're gonna slip the jab and counter. and they use the same trick. They don't even change their tactics, brother. They don't on how they do things. It's the fear mongering. It's the most important election ever. The boogeyman is coming. Project 2025, and uh, as if we can't, our people are incapable of countering anything that somebody will have against us. Like we're a bunch of punks or something. A scared to death man makes me sick.
Yeah.
Brother,
I mean,
you can have the mic as long as you want it, and let me know, when you're done, and we'll go to some video presentation. But whatever you have to say, brother, the floor is yours.
I say this much, enemies public, that the what's depressing is, I love all the brothers that were there. I mean, I still got love for you, but
Definitely.
not addressing the elephant in the room. You're going to tell me, brothers, that none of y'all have seen Candace Owens' breakdown of what's happening here?
Exactly.
So what we are witnessing and what we are hearing from the brothers is you're okay with an implant. That is depressing. And if you want this woman to go delegate to the world on a business matter, you guys have lost your minds. And I fall back on that.
Yeah, that's the crazy part, brother. Candace Owens broke it down in so many ways. And not only that, some of the things she broke down, I seen how she goes among people. If she go among Hispanic people, she'll change her accent. If she go among us, she change her accent. She get among sisters. She do the sister girl, behavior. Whoever she go to, she pander to that people. And again, how someone pander to you is how they see you. Trying to snap her finger when she's around sisters, and she wants to get what they'll call proper when she get around other people. And her public service, if that's public service, I would hate to see her be tough on people, because it's people who have testimony on how they suffered at her hands. And I don't understand how someone could even indulge and engage in America's politics, because thus far a president haven't done anything, absolutely anything, for our people. And who they put before us, again, is how they feel about us, and who they get to put in front of us to try to sway us, again, is how they feel about us. Because to have a Steve Harvey, a D.L. Hughley, any entertainer, I'm gonna say any entertainer, that's who you're going to try to get us, persuade us to vote, period, or a certain way. Because you put a comedian in front of us, a singer in front of us, you put a dancer in front of us, a rapper in front of us. No intellectuals. No intellectuals. D.L. Hughley thinks he's smart. He tries to sound intelligent, but he's not equivalent. Steve Harvey, buffooner. He's a buffoon, and he's not smart at all. He don't even pretend to be smart. And he's a man who said that he cannot feed his family integrity. This lets us know that he's not going to have any. He said, I can't eat integrity. He told Monique that. I can't eat integrity.
Facts.
He told her that. So he's letting us know that he's not going to approach anything with integrity. It's about the bag to him, but he don't care about anyone. Dale Hughley, he's standing in front of a bunch of brothers putting his black fist up. He's as far from revolution, brother, as the sun is from the earth. That's how far he's from revolution. He need to stick to what he do. And they try to say they're not bought and paid for. Yes, they are. They offer you something. You're not doing this voluntarily. You can't tell me you're doing any of this voluntarily. Kamala Harris called you and said, interview me. You did it voluntarily. BET called you and said, do this summit. And you, Benjamin Crump, Michael Ealy, Jermaine Dupri, a bunch of entertainers. They had a few real people sprinkled in the audience and a bunch of damn token politicians. It's crunch time now. Election day's Tuesday. And they're desperate. If you want our vote, you want us to rock with your party, you have to stop lying to us and give us what we want. But you'll get somebody who the election is not going to affect. You'll pay him to try to sway us. Or them to try to sway us. Those people wasn't there for Kamala Harris. They were there because they thought they were going to get something that they would normally pay $1,000 for, $2,000 for, a Beyonce performance. But they was upset when she wasn't performing. Nobody wants to hear Beyonce talk. They want to see her dance and sing. Who the hell wants to see Beyonce talk or hear Beyonce talk? No one. It's ridiculous,
Man.
brother.
It's ridiculous, man. And, with, one of my, teachers basically to let me know what's going on in the world, was Dick Gregory. And Dick Gregory would say this. He would say, in our history of any revolution, there hasn't been an actor, entertainer, comedian, athlete that's going to pop off anything. It's always the grass-rooted ones. And then Dick Gregory would say this about our condition here. He would say, make no doubt about it. We are in the most evil, nasty, vicious, insane, ungodly, unethical system that's ever existed in the history of the planet. And those words,
he was correct too, brother.
Absolutely.
He was correct, and so was Steve Coakley. They both were absolutely correct with their sentiments on this system. And, this world in general, brother, this world in general, they'll talk about what they're going to do for everybody. But when we ask for something, it's crickets. And I always say that we have to stop being the suckers in the political process. We have to stop it. And it's our fault too, because for so long, they've been getting our vote for nothing. And when we ask them for something all of a sudden, because we want, something for our vote, they look at us like we're crazy. All of a sudden, we want something for our vote. You've been giving it to us in the Democratic Party for the past 70 years. Now you want something? Yes, we do. We're slow, but we get it now. It may have came slow, but now we get it.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's not because I'm saying this about Kamala Harris. That don't mean I support Trump. I don't support no Trump. I don't try to crash parties I'm not invited to, Democratic or Republican. I don't belong to neither one of those parties. But the way people were trained to think is if you're not one with one, you must be with the other. No, you can't put nothing before me, two things before me, and tell me I got to choose. No, if I don't like neither one, I don't like neither one. That's it. That's how I do things.
Mhm.
But in all my life, I haven't seen a candidate that I would go and cast a vote for. Not one. And I've been of the voting age 40 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been of the
Yeah.
voting
No.
age for 40 years since I turned 18. So I haven't seen anybody in all that time that I would cast a vote for. You know? So
Hey, I say this all the time, that the last time, like I didn't vote, but the last time they got me to believe was Obama, and that play they made was an excellent play, because that was kind of like after 9/11, and we were on the brink of something, like something revolutionary popping off. And then they slid in Obama with the "yes, we can." And I bought into that. I ain't even gonna lie. I bought into that. And after that was over, we find out the truth about what was going on in those years Obama's administration was in charge of. And it hurt once I found out the truth. Like, it hurt, but never again will I
of
be
course,
fooled.
of course, when Barack Obama became president, you were a lot younger. You were a lot younger. And his eloquence, he can speak, he can speak. He can speak.
True.
And a lot of them can speak. And to me, it's just that, he can speak. It sounds good. I haven't seen many of his speeches yet. He was never convincing to me because of what he was into. I've never trusted politicians. Never. It's not a politician that I've ever trusted. So you can't pull a politician before me and I trust what they say,
Mm.
including him. I don't care how he look. The fact that he's a politician to me makes him deceptive. Poly is many and the tick is a bloodsucker of the poor in particular. So I would never trust a politician. Never. Especially the system that politician is trying to get in. No, I can't trust you. That automatically makes you deceptive.
Off top.
Just because you tell some truth or you may say something that resonates, it doesn't mean you were not trying to deceive me. It don't mean that. If you look at the track record, I'm going by the track record. Every politician, especially as far as our people, when it comes to our people, it's always been deception. They don't even
Hmm.
come to us unless they want something. Now, we haven't seen any parts of a Kamala Harris in our communities until Joe Biden dropped out of the race and she wiggled her way in with the illegal tactics that they use to get her there. Everything about this candidacy and this campaign she's running is illegal. It's illegal, and the fact that our people don't even realize that it's illegal. If she wasn't in the primary, she shouldn't be at the top spot. The runner up behind Biden should be at that spot if he dropped out. She wasn't in the she wasn't in the primary as a candidate. But they rolled she wiggled her way in. It doesn't because the man who's running dropped out, it doesn't mean that the vice president of the United States gets his place. No, the person that was the forerunner, not the forerunner, the runner up of Biden's as the the primary candidate. But no, she wiggled her way in because our people didn't fall for the Sister Act the first time in 2000, whatever that time Biden won. I think it was 2019, 2020. Yeah, it was 2019. Our people didn't fall for her Sister Act when she ran the first time. We was like, no, we know who you are. You're not one of us. Now we got this sudden change of mind, and about her. Our people got to stop jumping on bandwagons that's going nowhere. It's like we're the.
Well, let's keep it.
Go ahead, good brother.
Well, let's keep it real here. That I've spoke to some people that are really into politics, like politics from the 70s. And what everyone knows in the political game is how you came into the game, Mrs. Harris, with all due respect. And when we mention Willie Brown, that's enough that needs to be said right there. And so people in the political game and the political world, how this works. The outsider, the one just looking in, doesn't. So how you achieved some of your employment, we have to go back to Willie Brown. And once everybody understands who Willie Brown is and how you got this spot without going through the ranks, without starting at the bottom, and then now you're here, you didn't do that. You're here. And that smells, and it's got written implant all over it. And I'll fall back on that.
You're right. Among other things, because when, she went to an HBCU, again, she's been doing the Sister Act for a long time. And when some of these people have children, they have a plan for their child. If their child fit a certain criteria or characteristics, that person can be a plant for a long time. People go undercover as a plant for a long time to achieve their agenda. And again, the Sister Act is real. And let's say if she was one of us, ethnicity, like, in her ethnicity, just say she was one of us. With her track record and what she's done, she's still the wrong woman. She's still the wrong woman. Our sisters women in particular want to see a woman do it. Our sisters want to see a woman that looks like her do it, but she's the wrong woman. And for Barack Obama to come to us and tell us that we're sexist because we won't vote for her, when we see that she's the wrong woman, when we see who she is, why do you think Barack Obama went to college age young brothers instead of coming to people, brothers your age and my age? We know who he is. He went to those youngins because they don't know who he is.
Facts.
By the time he got out of office, they were still little boys, not even in high school. So he went to them because they don't know who he is. They're probably first-time voters, don't know who he is, And they saying, wow, Barack Obama's coming to speak to us. And what he did is he wagged his finger in their face, chiding them and talking to them in a very condescending, chastising manner.
Mm-hmm.
And he was out of pocket for that. But he couldn't have came to us like that. That would have been a very short-lived so-called lecture. Because he can't lecture me on nothing. Barack Obama can't lecture me on nothing. Absolutely nothing he can talk to me about. After what I seen on his watch that he could have done something about. No, you can't talk to me about nothing. And to tell me because I won't do something that you want me to do, that I'm sexist or I'm out of pocket. No, bro. Nah. He'd have got rolled out of there, bro. I mean, I don't mean violently, but he'd have got so much damn verbal assault that he'd have left. I'd have verbal assaulted him, bro. Straight up.
Well, I tell you like this, I with everything we're about to watch and see, and when we speak about Obama, I'm maturing, and seeing that you're just doing what you're told to do. You're doing your job.
Definitely.
It's not the job of the people. It's the job of the ones that we don't see. The ones that are part of different orders and take different oaths. So you're doing your job. As we're about to see, we're going to see all of these brothers here say their spiel because they're doing their job.
Exactly. Now we're gonna get into this, and we're gonna play Malcolm. Then we're gonna play Kamala, and then we're going to play the summit. We're going to do the audio. We're not going to do the video for copyright purposes. We can hear it. Yet, you've seen it, I've seen it, so we know who's speaking. So we're going to do it like that because I don't want to do it and waste time and they take it down because we're using the video.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
And that's the absolute truth.
Facts.
That is the absolute truth. Now, with the exception of Ronald Reagan, with the exception of Ronald Reagan, there have never been an entertainer that tried to influence the people. But the ignorant among our people will get excited because that's a person who they celebrate. I don't call them celebrities. I call them entertainers because I don't celebrate them. Especially somebody who he's in a certain tax bracket. Most of them think they've risen above our condition. And whatever happens as far as someone being a president of the United States is not going to affect them. And they're bought and paid for. So I don't listen to entertainers. They can't tell me to do anything. They won't tell you, they don't tell you they don't reach down and grab or pull nobody up, but they try to tell you how, you should vote and everything. And no, we're not doing that. And this is a video of Kamala Harris. She locked up 1,500 people for smoking marijuana when she smoked marijuana before. Crazy. Can't make these things up, brother.
Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
And these are not accusations, my brother T. Riggles.
No, they're not.
These are facts. Everything this woman said, she did. It's a video on Vice of the young brother who she had locked up. She had the evidence to, to acquit him, but she suppressed that evidence. And they did the same thing, to him that they did to a brother in New Jersey. Did you ever see that show called For Life? It was a show on called For Life about a year or two ago on Channel 7.
No.
That 50 Cent produced. 50 Cent produced the show. It was called For Life. It was about a brother that I knew. I met the brother. I was around the brother. His name was Isaac Wright. And the brother owned a record company, owned clubs. He had successful business, but it was a prosecutor like her. His name was Nicholas Bissell. He was Somerset County's prosecutor. And he actually, locked the brother up for life. He locked the brother up for life on trumped up charges, and didn't give the brother the discovery to defend himself. Hid the discovery, and he was a total tyrant, brother, in Somerset County. And what Isaac Wright did was studied the law and became a prison attorney. And when he started defending people, everybody he defended was released. Everyone he defended as a prison lawyer was released. But he couldn't get his discovery. He had to hire an attorney as an attorney, but the attorney got his discovery. And when he cross-examined the Franklin Township police officer who helped maliciously prosecute him, the cop confessed to everything. Everybody involved in Isaac Wright's case went to prison. The judge, the cops, the prosecutor. The prosecutor didn't go to prison. He was sentenced to 10 years, but he was facing life on other charges, several life sentences. And like the punk he was, he cut his ankle bracelet off, flew to Vegas, and when they got him surrounded in his room, he offed himself.
Mm-hmm.
He offed himself. But we're going to get back to this. I just wanted to share that with you. He was, her before her. The same type of person.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done.
And I inhaled. I did inhale.
It was a long time ago, but yes.
So if it was legalized all throughout the country,
You hear that cackling, brother? That's what irks me, that cackling. He's trying to ask her a question, and she just laughing over him asking a question. And the question is critical. Why did you lock people up when you did the same damn thing as a young person?
That part.
You're locking
You know,
people up.
I've got innocent cases here that I got two of the innocent cases under Miss Harris that is going to blow the minds of the people, because I can't believe that this is happening. And then as we go on with the black vomit, right when they'll say what she has done, and then we'll bring in some of these innocent cases.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
medicinal, would you know, do it?
Listen, I think that it gives a lot of people joy, and we need more joy.
He put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and laughed about it.
That's what she did, brother. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a banner up, and then we're going to get into BET's Black Man's Vomit. You know what? I'm going to put this up, because this is what we're going to get with them. We're going to get Harris and Trump. We're going to get 2-0 burgers with an order of lies. That's what we get with them. It's exactly what we get with them too.
And that's no lie.
Now we're going to get into the while we're here, brother. Hopefully they'll let us play it, brother. You know.
Okay, good. Because you know already they're starting.
Harris also being.
As a matter of fact, I want to play this Roland Martin video first. It's about 3 minutes long, and he's talking about, this is when he wasn't on her bandwagon years ago. It's a video of Kamala Harris threatening parents with jail over truant children. Okay, we're going to play this one first, then we'll get into that one. Let me take the banner down real quick so we can see this. Fair, as a matter of fact, let me put this banner up, this fair use banner.
Yeah.
Put this fair use banner up. And then I'm going to put it, I'm going to double down and put it on the ticker also. So, it gets crazy, brother.
Yeah, they're doing a number on me on TikTok right now, so I get it.
Being called out on her actions as San Francisco District Attorney, and critics are pointing to this clip from January of 2009.
I would not be standing here were it not for the education I received. And I know many of us will say the same thing. And I believe a child going without an education is tantamount to a crime. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy. Well, this was a little controversial in San Francisco. And frankly, my staff went bananas. They were very concerned because we didn't know at the time whether I was going to have an opponent in my reelection race. But I said, look, I'm done. This is a serious issue, and I've got a little political capital, and I'm going to spend some of it. And this is what we did. We recognized that in that initiative, as a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick. The school district has got a carrot. Let's work in tandem around our collective objective and goal, which is to get those kids in school. So to that end, on my letterhead, now let me tell you something about my letterhead. When you're the DA of a major city in this country, usually the job comes with a badge. And there is often an artistic rendering of said badge on your stationery.
So I sent a letter out on my letterhead to every parent in the school district outlining the connection that was statistically proven between elementary school truancy, high school dropouts, who will become a victim of crime, and who will become a perpetrator of crime. We sent it out to everyone. A friend of mine actually called me and he said, Kamala, my wife got the letter. She freaked out. She brought all the kids into the living room, held up the letter, said, if you don't go to school, Kamala's gonna put you and me in jail.
Look how she's cackling and laughing and thinking this is funny. And most of the people that's targeted with this law are poor people. And one of the parents had a child that was sick and couldn't go to school. What did she do? Lock the mother up. She locked the mother up of a sick child that couldn't go to school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we achieved intended effect.
So one of the issues that we'll, of course, be talking about is the idea of using a prosecutor using the threat of jail to deal with truancy. Is that the proper thing to do in this country? And so, again, that's just one of the issues that we'll be talking about as we continue to cover the campaign of Senator Kamala Harris and the other Democrats who are running for president in 2020. If you want to check out Roland Martin Unfiltered, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin, and subscribe to our YouTube.
Now we're going to get into the actual subject matter. I'm going to place the banner up, and then we can get into it.
You know, to even answer Roland Martin's question, is that the answer to jail parents because of their children not going to school? No, that's not the solution to the problem. I don't think it's not going to work as I guess the numbers say. You know, there's, you know, with, especially when we're talking about low income homes here.
Exactly.
People have to investigate what's happening in the home, and then continuation school works, maybe homeschooling, where the child and the parent can both learn together.
Indeed. I mean, maybe they should have talked to you. They didn't have the answers, but everything you're saying is, I agree with.
Everyone's getting educated around here. Well, they're getting educated on nonsense, but at least they're learning something, with the child and parent. I think that would be the best solution to the problem.
Yes, sir. And also the fact that she was keeping people in jail longer than they should have been, all to get cheap labor for the state of California. That's another thing that she's done. When people go up for parole, she would deny their parole because, they were getting cheap labor. The same thing that they were doing with sending the children to school and, the prison industrial complex, a lot of them are private, and they get kickbacks. It wouldn't surprise me that if she was getting money to send some of those people to get money from those private prisons or even the state prisons, because she kept people in jail longer than they should have been. But, that's the name of their game, brother. And a lot of us, this system just resonates with them. Now, we're going to get into why we're here now, brother.
Oh, yeah, because,
Dear
black
men.
You were saying something, brother, because I don't want to cut nothing you're saying off.
Well, it's just you're going to send parents to jail for not sending their child to school, which matches somewhat of the prison industrial complex, because somebody gets paid for your child being in school. So if you're going to send them to jail for not sending them, But if a parent doesn't know how to feed the child, they have to go to like programs. Like, make that make sense.
Yes, sir. And also, you know, forest truancy. That's about the money. It's not about the child learning, brother. The truancy is about the annual budget that the school system receives. If a certain amount of children are in school, that district gets a certain amount of money. But if the children are not showing up, they cut the budget. So it was about the budget of that district. It's all about money because they can care less about our children learning in particular. And guess what? I'm absolutely certain that that law targeted our children in the state of California.
Yep, my state. Facts.
Every time a presidential election rolls around, they're telling you that this is the most consequential election in generations. This time for us, it may actually be true. When was the last time America asked black men what we wanted? And I know what it's like to not be asked what you want. I'm married to a black woman. But I promise you, it's not a trick question. Tonight, we're going to explore the issues that matter to us. Now, whether you support Kamala, ride with Trump, or plan to stay home, let's have a real conversation among us, black men, about what's really at stake in this election. This is the BET Black Men Summit. Let's get to it.
Black men, as you know, are a closely watched voting bloc.
I'm speaking to men directly.
On a major party ticket as a DEI hire.
I didn't know she was black. But polling shows that some black men are considering voting for Donald Trump.
Black men are like any other voting group. You got to earn their vote.
Tonight. Did you hear what she just said? Black men are like any other voting group. You must earn their vote. But this is how she feels.
I heard it.
She can earn our vote by pandering to us, by getting a comedian to host a thrown together summit, which is very biased because everybody there is on the Democratic side. So what kind of summit is this with no opposing views? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
No type of opposing view. Everybody is on the same side, but they're calling it a summit and they call it a black man summit. But we're gonna go on, brother. I didn't see any display of manhood at this entire thing, brother. I don't care who spoke. I saw weakness throughout the whole thing.
With the future of America on the ballot, BET is bringing together an extraordinary group of black men to elevate their voices for real talk about the issues they say are most important in this election. The state of the economy, economic opportunity, reproductive rights, protecting our communities, and Vice President Kamala Harris's record as a prosecutor, and more. This is the BET Black Men Summit. Here is DL Hughley.
See, the thing is with the summit is the focal point of the summit, which I call the vomit, is Kamala Harris. She's the focal point. If it's a summit about the election, why is it such Democratic friendly instead of saying, okay, go out and vote for who you want to vote for? Why? Because BET is Democratic. Okay, they're Democratic. And everybody on that stage is bought and paid for. You have anything to add, brother, before we continue?
Yeah, just to let you know, you're not playing the actual video. Huh? It's all the sound, right?
Just the sound.
Okay, perfect. Well, we'll say this about the summit. you know, it seems like not only did you just summons all brothers that are Democrats, but you summons frat brothers.
Yes, indeed.
Majority of those frat brothers are Q dogs.
Indeed.
And our host this evening, Mr. Hewley, just recently joined the Brotherhood. He joined July 20th, 2020. And he
Honorary.
officially became a Q dog.
Steve Harvey got him in. Steve Harvey or Ricky Smiley, one of them got him in because Dale Hughley never went to college. He's an honorary member of the Q Dogs.
That part.
You know, that's why he does that segment of his program called the GED section, because he never graduated. He has a GED.
Thank you. We are just days away from a razor-close presidential election. So tonight, in this room full of black men, we're going to ask tough questions about the economy, immigration, protecting our communities, and much, much more. With me on the stage, we have civil rights attorney and my frat brother, Ben Crump, is here. We have activists.
It sounds funny, though, brother. I had to stop it. He said my frat brother like he pledged to something. That is so damn crazy. And he actually, you know, he's saying my frat brother like he pledged to something, like he went to a college and pledged, you know, for that fraternity. And he just, you know, felt compelled to say that's his frat brother. When, you know, damn well he never went to no college. Crazy.
Yeah, man. And Mr. Ben Crump, you know, is another Q dog for sure. And since Mr. Crump, since you have since one of my brothers, Santana, can you dig it, has an issue with you, that means that I have an issue with you, Mr. Crump. And because we don't play these secret oath games out here, I don't care if you were the lead attorney for the George Floyd thing. I don't care that you've won you've won over 200 cases in your career. I know, and as some of us already know, why you are in this position today. And I'll fall back.
Yeah, but you know, Benjamin Crump is a you know, civil case lawyer. He seek financial, what they call it. I wouldn't necessarily call it justice, because if, you know, if all he received is money for people when they lose a loved one or they're being abused by the police or what have you, if that's all he do, he's not really receiving. He's just ambulance chasing. In other words, he chases ambulances and he get money for the people who suffer. I'm not saying people shouldn't get money, you know, when they suffer at the hands of other people. Yet, if that's all you do, you know, is chase ambulances, you're not seeking real justice. What they should have on their team, I would say, team up with a lawyer that's going to be vicious when it comes to getting real justice for the people when they suffer at the hands of others.
A doctor and activist Wes Bellamy, he's also here. And actor and activist Michael Ealy. Now, of course, there's been a lot of talk about VP Harris's record when she was a prosecutor in California, specifically people who said she locked up thousands of black men. And to tell you the truth, and full disclosure, I fell for that. And I had a meeting with the vice president. She asked me to do something simple, which is to actually look at her record. And I looked, and she...
Another thing, now, she said, look at her record. But what this dummy didn't, consider is that everything about her was either redacted or actually literally changed, including who she is as a person, her ethnicity. See, he fell for the easy. I mean, he fell for the simplest okey doke. Go and check my record. Check my record. At the same time, but undermine the people who have testimony who suffer at the hands of this woman. And he gonna go read something and go, bro. Something is definitely wrong with our people, brother.
For real.
It goes back to how some of us, get our information and go out and tell it as some type of truth, and people yelling facts over nonsense just because you can click on social media and find something that may be apparent that you can read that off, but it doesn't mean that is truth. You can't undermine that mother who said she imprisoned her, or that brother, or those other people who said she locked them up. How can you undermine what they say?
That part.
Ridiculous.
And we don't want to talk about.
Go ahead, good brother.
We don't want to talk about Mr. Because you checking the track record, Mr. Jamal Truelove. In 2008, I was reading the article that supposedly unalived like one of his friends, but the whole thing, the police set this gentleman up. And then for 6 years, he sat down for 6 years. And then the truth came out. And he basically sued that police department and got 13 mil. So when you want, everyone want to say track record,
exactly.
Setting a brother up like that under your jurisdiction, under your watch, Miss Harris, hey, all respect, but
and don't forget Christopher Dorner. Don't forget Christopher Dorner, brother.
Yes. Oh no, we're not gonna forget him.
Don't forget him, brother.
There's another
police officer who saw corruption, reported it, and was ostracized and ruined to the point that he went ballistic. The man went to serve in the military, fought for the country, came back, and became a police officer. And because he reported the excessive force of his partner, they did him like that.
Yeah.
They did him like that.
Not what I imagine or profess. And I think that I felt like a lot of young black men felt. And you see these systems and these agencies just running roughshod over black men. And you can't believe that anybody who represented that agency would be any different. That's not to make an excuse. Obviously, I should have done my research. And by the way, research isn't doing things to edify your perspective. Research is about challenging what you believe.
Exactly.
It's not about that.
Exactly.
So we're gonna check out that perception in a minute, whether it's still out there. And we send, of course, Vic Mensa to North Carolina to find out just that. Let's roll the tape.
Peace, y'all. This is Vic Mensa. You know me from Chicago, but I'm here in Charlotte, in the swing state of North Carolina, to speak to black men about the issues that are important to us in this election. Let's go. Do you think there are reasons that some black men have an aversion to supporting Kamala Harris?
A lot of misinformation. You have, the things that was done, track record in California. A lot of people have ran with that.
Harris has a track record of doing certain things to black men or just the black community as a whole, but so does Donald Trump. So once again, I'm up in the air.
What misinformation have you heard as it pertains to this current election and candidates?
When it comes to Kamala Harris,
they say we're not gonna vote for her. But one of the reasons they say they won't vote for her is because she threw thousands of black men in jail for, marijuana cases.
How we consume information now is more so in a bite-sized way. So a lot of times you get the sensationalization of what they put out there first, and people just hold on to that and don't necessarily do the research.
Like if you just do it.
Now, I'm going to say this. She didn't deny this accusation. She never denied it. She never stood up and said, I didn't do that.
I did not know that.
She did. She stood up and made an excuse for doing it. She never denied it. Never. See, that's the thing, bro. Some of these cats need to just, I know a lot of them are a little old, but they act like they are, guards, on the football team. They're playing guard for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and the interviews that we're hearing, right? It totally sounds like a script. Here are your lines. I'm gonna say this, and you're going to say that. This doesn't even feel or sound genuine from these brothers.
You're right.
That
it's a production, brother T. Riggles. It's a production, and the thing is, it's on BET. And once again, they think that we're going to fall for it. They do.
Yeah, for real.
To do the research, it's far from the truth. I mean, you have a phone, you can Google it.
Do you think there are unfair judgments that black men are uneducated with their votes?
You say uneducated? I'll say to a degree, yeah, man, to a degree. But
we were uneducated with our votes because we were the suckers in the political process for years. And the fact that we're not just giving our votes without being offered tangibles, they can't understand why these people are not just voting. They've been just voting for years, and now they want something. What are we going to do? They want something like everybody else. Like everybody else is coming to them as a people. They want something all of a sudden. They just don't understand why we want something for our votes all of a sudden. Because we've been the suckers in the political process for a long time. All we just doing, just vote. Vote, 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 vote.
Yeah. And to
I would say uninterested.
And to hear that, in the beginning, like let's just say about what, six months ago, reparation talk now started to hit the scene.
Exactly.
And it's almost like, how like play old school child games where you say, give me 5, and then the person is about to give you 5, and then you move your hand, psych. Like that, this is what's happening here.
Good analogy, brother. Very good analogy. Good analogy.
Interested in would even be better though.
I appreciate you, bro.
All right, Vic, thank you for that. And you went to the streets, Vic. You spoke to a lot of brothers. I'm sure even some of them didn't even make the tape, but that is a pervasive mentality out there. Or is it? Let me ask you, what did you see? Is it that pervasive? Do a lot of people think that?
Speaking to black men on the street in North Carolina, many brothers had concerns about Kamala Harris's history as a prosecutor, as did I, being victims of the prison industrial complex. I'm a legal cannabis entrepreneur myself. So when I first heard the figures that she incarcerated thousands of black men for marijuana, I was very skeptical. Now, when you look into the actual numbers, it was 45 men in total that were sentenced for marijuana charges, and that's not specified by race. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, a main point of conversation is Donald Trump's storied history of racism. And
here we go.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Trump. Trump is obvious. He's obvious. I would never sit up on a platform and put the cape on for Donald Trump. But Donald Trump is what you see is what you get. You know he's obvious of who he is. But Kamala Harris is more deceptive than he is. Way more. She's trying to pass herself off as one of us and pretend to be our friend. Donald Trump, he threw paper towels at Puerto Ricans. Okay? He got comedians to come up and make racist jokes about Hispanics. Okay? And he called Africa a shithole country. Okay? So he lets people know, you know what I'm saying, of who he is. And the ignorant among our people think because Donald Trump did business with them, whether he allowed you to have your fight at Trump Plaza or your concert there, that's a business move. That's a business move. You do business with who doing the business.
Yeah.
You think I wouldn't allow you to use my $70,000 seat stadium and you're charging $1,000, everything on the floor is over $1,000, but you got $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 seats in my stadium? I'm getting that bread.
Yeah.
I'm getting that bread. But a lot of people, they misconstrue doing business with somebody liking you. I heard rappers say, well, he's been around us for years. All of a sudden, he's a racist. Yes, he's been a racist all that goddamn time. Yes, he has. And, and I'm speaking about Lord Jamar now. He's been saying that all over the place. He's been with us for years. Donald Trump been with us for years. All of a sudden, he's racist. And, for somebody who knows the 120 lessons, he forgot one. He forgot one of those lessons.
What did he forget?
Can a devil fool a Muslim?
Ooh.
And the answer is no, not nowadays. But Donald Trump fooled his ass. That's that's part of the 120 that Lord Jamar forgot. Can a devil fool a Muslim? No, not nowadays. But he was fooled thinking that Donald Trump is not a damn racist. And he is.
The reality is that you have a candidate here who is supporting ideas of blanket immunity for police. These are the police that are the modern day manifestation of slave catchers and overseers. And that blanket immunity is to give them freedom to kill us with freedom from prosecution. So
they clapping to that, brother.
Look. Okay, I understand what is trying to be said there.
Yes, sir.
Right. It shouldn't be free immunity for any police officer to unalive anyone. Only in really, it has to be in this self-defense type of deal. But here's where I get really confused, as this talk vomit goes on. What makes y'all think things change right now? What makes you think that we're free and all of this nonsense that I'm hearing? Like, what makes who gave us the free? We're now officially free. Who told you that, brothers? I love this little gathering here of frat brothers and actors and entertainers.
The Boule class.
Yeah. Like, who are y'all speaking to? You not speaking to the regular brothers out here.
No, you're not.
Not the regular, intelligent, grass-rooted, have done their own research and studying here. You're not talking to us. You must be talking to the other brotherhoods around here, because who told you that we're free? Like, this is the issue I have with this gathering here. And I like.
Yes, sir. And also, brother, in that very state that Kamala Harris is in, she had a whole entire gang in her jurisdiction, in her state.
Yeah.
She had in her state, she had a whole entire gang in her jurisdiction passed off as police department. The
She even
executioner.
mentioned that.
The executioners.
Yeah.
How long have Francisco Villanueva been out of office? He was there when she was there.
Wow.
They had the executioners, a Hispanic gang on the police department, had matching tattoos and every damn thing, brother, in California. And guess who the target was?
Who?
Us.
You already know.
We were the targets. And they're talking about the work she did in California. That's crazy.
I want to get a quick fact check from the president and CEO, also a frat brother of the NAACP, Derek Johnson. Now, Brother Johnson, I'm not a...
Now, you know what the NAACP is, right? What's the NAACP, brother, T. Riggles?
Go ahead, enlighten me, because the NAACP, it makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach. It's almost, to me, it's an organization that awards all, per se. Let's just keep it really humble here. You award all of the House brothers for doing such a good work on making sure that the House is cleaned up and prepared for the occupants. That's how I view NAACP.
Yeah, I view them the same way. I share your sentiment of what the NAACP is, but the acronym to me, they say it's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That's what they say.
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like the colored people. I don't like that. I don't like that.
To me, it's Negroes always asking Caucasians permission.
Ooh, let me write that one down.
That's what that is to me. Negroes always asking Caucasians permission because they don't do nothing without their damn permission. That's what the NAACP is.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not as dumb as I think I am sometimes, but why was I so susceptible to it? Why did I believe something that caused such harm? Even now, some of the things they're saying, I'm sure I had a hand in. I mean,
fear is the most powerful motivator. It either paralyzes us or propels us. Law enforcement against Black men, it has been a long-standing fear from slavery forward. And so when you can tap into that vein and you can hear something that could have a kernel of truth, she was a state prosecutor. She was a local prosecutor. The kernel of truth of she are lining up with police officers who were not in our best interest, that's easy to accept as a reality. The concept of progressive prosecutors really came into being around 2015. And when more progressive prosecutors started getting elected across the country, we began to see more reforms locally. And she was a part of a lot of those conversations. California today is not California in 1992 when NWA was saying F the police. Yeah. We are in a new reality now.
Right.
Okay, no, what do you mean? This ain't 1992. Let me explain something.
You're in California. Go.
Right. Look, just in Torrance, right? There's a city in LA we call it's Torrance. Every brother in LA knows not to go into Torrance. Why? Because the police officers are going to pull you over because they're letting everyone know you're not supposed to be in here. And just recently, Torrance got caught for all, excuse my language here, for all of the fuckery that they've been doing. Like, you know how you just said everyone has the same tattoos from the same military branch? Torrance just got busted and the feds got him. And it was just like, yeah, I'm so confused, Mr. Derek Thomas. You know, when you spitting that rhetoric, I don't think you've ever really walked with the people in LA so you can see
is Torrance Really quick, is Torrance a sundown town?
No,
It's
it's a
not. It's
city.
not. Is it a sundown town? Do our people got to get out of town before sundown? That's what I'm
Look,
asking you.
look, they sundown, nightown. You don't look, brothers don't go into Torrance. You can say yes, it's a sundown town, but in the daylight, you don't even go there.
So it's a stay out of here. Period. Town.
Period.
Okay. All right. Okay. I was just curious, brother. But it seems like this brother is unenlightened about what's going on, and a lot of times when you get to a certain tax bracket, and you know certain things don't affect you. Some of them think it doesn't exist because it's not affecting them. That's just the way they think. Because it's not affecting them. I mean, a lot of them also are far removed, very far removed from what we go through.
But you know what? Real talk. I think, we're giving them an excuse. I think they really know what's going on.
They know what's going on, but they're far removed because it doesn't affect them. They know.
Yeah.
But when you're traveling and you don't look back, that type of thing. No rear view mirror, no side view mirrors. You're just looking forward. That's the way a lot of them think, brother.
Yeah, that's a great analogy right there.
Thank you. Now, Ben Crump, what is your view of VP Harris and a record when it comes to criminal justice?
As a civil rights lawyer, I got to interact with Vice President Harris when she was the Attorney General of California. We were not on the same size, but I saw her passion to do the right thing and her passion to try to help Black people. When we think about it, DL, you have to think that this is a sister who grew up in Oakland, California, and she chose that the best way I can help the system is to be a prosecutor.
I'm about to vomit.
Everything that came out this man's mouth is an outright lie. First, she grew up in Canada. She grew up in Canada. And she went to Howard U, HBCU, and that doesn't make her one of us because, every ethnicity goes to Howard U.
Let's talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a historical so-called Black college or university, it doesn't mean that it's exclusively for our people because that would be discrimination. You know what I'm saying? There would be discrimination if you only allow Black people to go to a certain school. But he called her a sister.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have. And he said that she grew up in Oakland.
Yeah.
Why? And that's, making her relatable. They're trying so hard to make her relatable to us by putting her in certain areas. Now, D.L. Hughley is about her same age, okay? They're like the same age. D.L. Hughley is probably like a year or two older than I am. They're about the same age. D.L. Hughley grew up in Oakland. He don't know her. He grew up in Oakland. He knows damn well he don't know her. Outright lies.
Just hey, look, and then look, stop. Everyone got to stop playing with me and the real ones out here.
Playing right in our face, bro. They're playing right in our face, bro.
So none of you brothers here are going to bring up Candace's spiel here. No one. And shouts out to Stephen A. Smith, right? And I after watching certain interviews with Stephen A. Smith, and I'm in agreement with what he said about this Democratic Party thing here. He said that you're going to tell me that for 4 years now, you can't get a better candidate. You couldn't prep someone for at least 3 years that to just come up to the scene and give us some of the best spiel we've ever had. And I'm in agreement with what Stephen A. said. Like, I am totally disappointed in the Democratic Party. So if this was a boxing match, and let's just use the comparison here that Trump is Floyd Mayweather. So in order to fight the champ, you got to bring someone like a Sugar Ray, a Hagler, but you bring someone that can't even compete. You can't even compare. So it's so depressing and sad to see the Democratic Party not bring a formidable opponent, and then having brothers like Crump vouch for this. You're vouching for this, Mr. Crump? Like, I'm getting sick right now. I can feel my fever. It's rising. My stomach is turning. I don't think I can even hear anymore if Trump says another word. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is ridiculous in our land right there.
Brother, we just need to know. We need to know this emphatically, that everybody on that stage is bought and paid for. This is not voluntarily done.
Facts.
They're bought and they're paid for. And everybody out there are actors. It's just that Benjamin Crump is not a convincing actor. Okay? Michael Ealy is an actor. Jermaine Dupri acts. He had a sitcom and he's been in movies. So he's an actor. Everybody up there is an actor. It's just that Benjamin Crump don't have much experience as an actor, but he's trying his best and he's failing miserably. Failing.
Yeah, it's failing.
Be
Like,
on
you
the
get an
inside.
F.
Most of the time, you have people like.
Go ahead, my brother.
No, he gets an F minus.
Oh yeah, definitely.
and just looking, I was analyzing the crowd, and I was just looking like, wow. So all of y'all are frat brothers, huh? We got some Q dogs there. We got some Sigmas sitting down there. There's some Kappas down there, and they said, okay, guys, look, we're just gonna pay y'all brotherhood a little bit. We're gonna pay your frat a little money, and just to sit there and clap whenever someone says something that sounds good. Yeah, just clap, brothers, clap.
They have signs. They have signs that say clap.
Yeah,
They have signs there. It's just that they're not in the view of the camera.
Oh, facts. I bet you any money. I bet you any money that they had. I bet you any money they had like a Divine 9-step performance before the show started. You know what I mean? They got them there, stepping. They bought their canes.
Wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me, brother. It definitely wouldn't surprise me.
But like me, we're fighting on the outside. Don't we want that? We need people on the inside.
That's to your point. I think we put prosecutors, black prosecutors, who we elect a lot, in an untenable position. We want them to be protectors of the community, which that's the gig, that's the profession. You work with her. I'm sure you were in court with her on the other side of the stick. But
out of that, we gained a healthy respect for one another. While everybody talks about prosecutors being tough on crime, she came up with a concept called being smart on crime. When she became prosecutor in San Francisco, she said, I'm gonna be smart on crime. She had this back on track policy that said when young brothers and sisters messed up, She said that if it's your first time and you're under the age of 18, they're not going to charge you with this crime for life. If you didn't get in any more trouble, and if you graduated from high school or you got a GED, they would expunge your record. Now, what prosecutors we know when we were growing up would treat us like that?
That is nothing special. Absolutely nothing special.
Nothing special at all. I looked. Look. I looked that up.
I've seen prosecutors do that right in the county I live in. So that's nothing special.
Nothing special.
Nothing special about that.
And look, and you know, when I looked up, you know, what is back on track? Now let's look it up, right? And so it says this. It says anywhere from because Mr. Crump, right? You're wrong again. It's not under 18. It's anywhere from 18 to 30 years old, and it has to be your first offense. Exactly. So that means that anyone that if this is your second, oh, you can't be on this back to track policy. You're locked up for as many years as we say. And it's just like, come on now. I thought it was about reform. You know, some people do need a second chance. You know, maybe the third, okay, no, we're not going to work with you. We're not going to put you into this program, you know, but the second time, they should be able to go into the program and then, you know, develop the skills as it says in the policy. You know, they got computers and then they're, you know, teaching them how to work the computers. But I don't agree with the back on track policy. It's got a little too many loopholes for me when I was reading it, and I'm not buying it. I land.
Benjamin Crump is a attorney who's displaying ignorance, not the ignorance that people are accustomed to hearing. Okay, like you don't know something. He know damn well. When I say ignorant, I mean he's ranting, running his mouth, ignoring what he know. He know damn well that what she did was PTI. That's pretrial intervention. That's what that is. It's pretrial intervention. You get in trouble. You go through some type of probation, and if you complete it, you don't have a record. It's pretrial intervention, and it's a national thing. For him to be an attorney and don't know that, he's displaying ignorance. He's ranting, ignoring what he knows. That's what he's doing.
That's Kamala Harris.
It's the notion of justice tempered with mercy. Michael, we spent a lot of time talking about our roles, but we need prosecutors. There's no debating that. What is your message to black men who have this resident because of a role as a prosecutor?
I'd say open your mind to the data. It amazes me oftentimes how many times Democrats have to provide receipts for all of the things that they do and for all of their qualifications. And yet on the other side, there's just...
I guarantee you he's about to mention the other party or the other candidate. You can, I mean, this is so performative, brother.
No accountability.
Look,
when you look at what Kamala Harris, who's been a public servant basically her whole life.
Right.
She is the most qualified candidate to run for president right.
If she's the most qualified candidate to run for president right now, they have definitely lowered the bar of who can become president. I'm going to make an announcement on the enemy's public, and you're hearing it here first. And I'm going to ask something of you, T. Riggles. I am going to run in 4 years, and I want you to be my vice president.
I'm gonna be the coldest vice president ever. I'm gonna go with the Dick Gregory approach. We're gonna dig up the rose garden and we're gonna plant us a little watermelon patch.
I'm going to run in 4 years, brother. because, you know, I don't claim to be a politician by no stretch of imagination, but they have definitely lowered the bar. If either one of them can run, period, they lowered the bar of who can become president. They are they are allowing someone who can't control their laughter. Can you imagine, bro? She's dealing with world leaders, sitting down with world leaders, and all she can do is laugh and don't answer no damn
Yeah,
questions.
just going geek, 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 geek. Like, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, can we talk? Can we talk business? Can we talk business? And then she was like, "Yeah, we can talk business." Geek, 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 geek. Like, look, man, look. This ain't gonna fly. You know, this ain't gonna fly at all.
This is
And
somebody that has to deal with the world leaders that represent the United States as a world leader, who have to get on Air Force One, and trained men have to salute her. See, I have a problem with myself. I have a problem with anybody stepping off Air Force One and soldiers are saluting them if they didn't come up through the rank and file, male or female. If you didn't come up through that rank and file as a soldier should not have to salute you. That's how I feel about that. That's how I always felt about that. How they gonna salute you? You didn't come up in the rank and file as a soldier.
hey, that's a good point.
It's just my strong belief.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. I never really thought of that like that. You know, yeah. Why do you get a salute when you haven't gone through basic training? You probably don't even know how to put on a military boot. Yeah, that's a good point.
And they're called Commander in Chief, brother. Commander in Chief.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what
look, kid.
That's what the president is, Commander in Chief. He can send those very soldiers anywhere he wants to send them. And he didn't come up, or she didn't come up through the rank and file. And that don't sit right with me. To get saluted.
So neither did Trump, right?
Regardless of who is the president, if that person didn't come up through the rank and file, I don't think they should be saluted. You was never a soldier. You never been through basic training. Why should I salute you? You know what those men and women went through?
Yeah.
To wear that uniform, and some of them were draft dodgers. And as disrespectful as Trump talk about the military, they gotta salute his ass. That's just my sentiment, bro. You know, just my sentiment.
I tell you this much. You know, with I don't know how other Americans feel about this, but I mean, when he just said Kamala is well qualified for the job. No, she's not. She cannot go overseas and gain the respect of these other world leaders unless their secret orders tell them, like, you got to do everything that Kamala says. But no, she doesn't qualify to speak to a Saudi Arabia king. No. It's not going to fly. You don't have a really good, solid foundation about business. This is where Trump wins in this department. Even though Kamala had like a undergraduate major at Howard, that's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it.
But again, we're talking about executive office, and we're talking about, even if she has the credentials, okay, she can have all the credentials in the world, but she don't fit the criteria because her inability to answer simple questions. She can't answer, and she's never answered a simple question. And the laughing. I have a problem with the constant laughing. Yeah. And laughing when you're asked a serious question. I have a problem with that. When somebody asks asking you a serious question, an interviewer or anybody asking you a serious question, it's like you're taking the interview for granted, and you're again playing in that person's face when they're asking you a serious question. All you can think to do is laugh it off. Nah. It's about, it's crunch time now. It's nations fighting now, and we need somebody serious that can deal with that. And she don't fit the criteria of somebody who can deal with something that's on the verge of some type of world war. Do you think she has the demeanor to deal with a world war? Hell no.
No.
If these weak ass Negroes sitting on a panel saying she's the most qualified to deal, I'm gonna say it like this. I don't support Trump by no stretch of imagination, but I believe he'll know how to deal with that better than she would. Not necessarily mean that he can deal with that, because he has a childish demeanor himself. He does. He's a big ass child.
Yeah, Trump got jokes.
And it's like, again, politicians, left or right, I don't care nothing about them, because they're all liars, deceivers, bloodsuckers of the poor. I just don't believe in American politics. But this is what they put before us to choose: the mumps or the damn measles. Which one you want? Or you want to be stabbed in the back, or you want to be stabbed in the front? At least with Donald Trump, I could defend myself because it's in front of me. I can see him. But the Democratic Party are backstabbers. They pretend to be your friends and are not. I'd rather have my enemy say, look, I don't like you. That's it.
Yeah. I respect the person that says that. I respect the person more that says, hey, man, AT, I just don't like you. Okay, word.
Exactly.
Word. I dig it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no hard feelings. I feel you. All right. I'll act accordingly.
Exactly.
Right now.
There's no debating.
So
one last
we
thing.
can sit here
One
and
last
debate on, what her record was as a prosecutor. But like you were saying earlier, let's talk about Trump's record. Let's talk about his record. What has he done to be qualified to be in this position?
What has he done to qualify to be in this position? Let's look at Trump's record.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Trump was president of the United States before. That's what qualified him.
That part. And look, I did the numbers. Okay, so when Trump
that was dumb.
Was president, look, when Trump was president, the United States gas price, okay, the gas price for the whole U.S. was $2.17. Now with Biden and Kamala, it jumped all the way. In Cali, back then it was $3.04 something cents. Now in Cali it's 4.8. In Ohio it jumped up. Now it's $3 and something. Maryland 3.24 cents. Illinois is $3.48. Florida's $3, and Massachusetts went from what I got here. Massachusetts went from 2.22 all the way up to $3 now. That's one of the differences. If you want to ask what has he done and what's the track record, that's I can just go to gas. And Joe Biden and Kamala, you owe me gas money.
Yeah, but Michael Ealy said, what have Donald Trump done to qualify him to sit in the seat? He sat in it before. So how could you say she's qualified over him? I don't support Trump, but when it comes to the qualification, he's more qualified than she is, because he did it before.
Yeah.
He's
Been there, done that.
He's been there and done that. So that's a dumbass question.
Dumbass. And just for the record,
He got some dope tennis shoes. You see,
just for the record, Michael is from another frat. I think he's from the Gamma something sci-fi, whatever. So we have here, ladies and gentlemen, a gathering of fraternity brothers that I like to call the filtering system for the establishment. And everyone here of the frat brothers, shouts out to you that you're doing exactly what you're told to do. Let's make that clear here. You're not doing this.
They're just a boule class who's bought and paid for by the Democratic Party and BET, who are Democratic. A bunch of boule class Negroes intellectually masturbating. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing sitting up here. Each one of them gets a chance to do that stupid ass spill.
For real. Just like you said earlier, like you're not here on your own free will here. Let's make that clear. You know what I'm saying? You're not here because you want to be. You know what I'm saying? You're here and gathering because they told you, and the money was good. You said, man, I might as well get 2 months, 3 months rent out of this. Yeah, I'll do the sit down for a little bit.
And not only that, if you have to say something about the next person in order to sell your person, you know what I'm saying? If your person, it's like when you tell the truth. If you're telling the truth, you don't care who believes it or who don't believe it. You don't care who don't believe it. As long as you tell the truth, you don't care who don't believe it. But it's like they're trying to convince somebody by saying something about the next person. Can you imagine, bro? You know what they sound like? They sound like a guy that's trying to bag a chick. In order for you to bag a chick, you got to say something about the next dude. No, sell yourself.
Yeah,
sell yourself. If what you presenting as yourself is not enough, you got to say something about the next dude. You're a punk. You're a simp.
Yeah, you ain't got no game. You ain't got no game.
Sell yourself. And Michael Ealy's you know what I'm saying? Michael Ealy is talking about Trump as if he don't got nothing to he said she's the most qualified, didn't give no qualifications, and then he went to Trump saying that he's not qualified when he is qualified because he did it before. It sounds outright ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous.
Yeah. And we're not saying that, and we're not saying here, that like Trump did this great job. No, but he's done his four, and what you're going to vote for someone who hasn't?
He did what he did. Like I said, I never voted for, in a political not the president anyway. I voted for one person in my life. One person. It was in my city. And we're close to this day. Yet, as far as the president of the United States, I never voted. I never casted a vote for the president of the United States. Why? Because it's just that political process. We're always the suckers in that. And I can't do that. Can't do it.
Yeah. I feel you, man. And look, once I learned what the popular vote is and the electoral voting thing is, I was just like, oh, well, why does anybody bother? Your vote don't count. It's, you're making a wish, and that's cool, but it's not based on your vote.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what you just said, bro? The popular vote means that the people voted for a particular candidate more than the other.
Yeah.
And the electoral college comes and undermine all of that, bro.
All of it.
They come and undermine all of that, and they pick who the president's going to be. So you're going to tell me your vote count? It's what the sister goddess, Copper Goddess said. Insulting intelligence is the boule stilo. Insulting. That is their stilo. That's what they do. They think because they got this degree madness, okay? They got, this degree madness that they can tell us what we don't see with our own damn eyes. Because they're a certain class of people, you may be, look who's on the stage. I know 3 of them. I don't know the brother to the right, to the far right with all the black on, but I know 3 of them are millionaires.
Oh yeah,
3 of them are millionaires. The one in the middle got more money than anybody.
Facts.
Benjamin Crump.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm about to get sick. No, I'm
See,
serious.
man, come on now. That's the thing that, like, we never seem to like hold him and his administration, who has more felonies and indictments than any other administration in the history of politics. And yet we worried about her being a prosecutor.
He'll sit and go, I'm gonna be tough on crime. I'm like, don't you got a court date next month? That's crazy.
That is funny. And that is true. That I rock with that. That is funny because to me, Donald Trump should not be allowed to run. Not with all those felonies. And those felonies, he should not be. He not only felonies, convictions. The fact that he's allowed to run further lowers the bar of who can become president. He's allowed to run as a convicted felon.
Only in America.
Yes, sir. Only in America.
You know what's funny? That let's just say, those convictions come through and Trump wins. So we're gonna have a president running the whole show in a sale, like for real.
And he also said everybody who's his political opponent, if he becomes president, everybody who ever talked shit about him, he gonna put him in jail, which is crazy. I know he can't do it, but for him to have that mindset and say it drives me nuts that he can say something like that. He's that childish that he'll actually say it, brother.
I mean, look. I don't know how much. See, I said this previously. I think on Philly OG's channel. And look, man, Citizen Man, much love to you. You feel me? To give us the almost like the behind the scenes thing going on. And with all the tactics that the Democrats have done, this is what you just said before. You're showing so much. You're so desperate for this new girl you're trying to get. You're stooping to the lowest of levels in order to convince the people how to vote for Kamala. Like, this is insane on what I was witnessing through this vomit gathering.
Brothers should really be insulted by this program. And what's crazy about it is they're airing it over and over again. Again, playing in our face. We should be insulted about this. I'm insulted. I'm insulted by the host. He's not the most. What's crazy about that? Out of everybody there, he probably has the so-called star power, but he's not the most intelligent person in that room. He's not. But he's the host because he's a comedian. He's a willing participant. And the fact that he switched his demeanor and his stance on Kamala Harris, he's being rewarded, bro. He's being rewarded. Because
Most
he was
definitely.
first, he's being rewarded for for stepping up. And what's crazy, what's insulting is they act like we don't see it.
Yeah.
They act like we don't see it.
Look, it's like we didn't see Obama in the beginning. Obama in the beginning didn't endorse Kamala. And then later on, he comes and tries to dictate to brothers, this is what you need to do, brothers.
And that's why I don't like America's politics, because and I don't like when celebrities try to influence us, because they'll be on one bandwagon, they jump from bandwagon to bandwagon. Because if you look at Kamala Harris, when she first ran, she got dragged and people wasn't going for it. Okay, she wiggled her way in through Biden. As a matter of fact, they didn't even like Biden. Okay, Biden won, the primary, and he chose her. And then everybody who ever talked about her in a bad way jumped on that bandwagon. Roland Martin, all of them. But at first, if you go back and you watch some of Roland Martin's old footage talking about Kamala Harris, he wasn't on that Kamala Harris train. None of them were. See, they think that we have amnesia. See, me, I don't smoke or drink. My vision is not blurry. I don't smoke or drink. So I remember, my memory is keen. I got keen memory. I remember everything about what these people done and what they said. But they think our people suffer from amnesia, or they think that our people could just be told anything. Always say we got to just stop being the suckers and letting them put people who they control in front of us to control us and influence us and get us through them.
Yeah.
That's what they try to do. They always try to get us through them. Picture a comedian or anybody telling any of these men, especially an entertainer, trying to tell me what my life should be or who I should vote for. After seeing the evidence, you can't undermine what those brothers and sisters who got testimony of how they suffer at her hands. I don't care what data they find. The data, the more sufficient data is the people with the testimony. I don't give a damn what you pull up on your computer. It don't fit nothing in comparison to what that sister said and that brother said and other people had said, how they suffered at the hands of Kamala Harris. If they should be ashamed of themselves for saying anything contrary to what those people said.
Yeah.
You will be tough on crime after you meet with your probation officer. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Exactly. Exactly.
Coming up next, we got crime, gun violence, and protecting our communities. That is coming up next.
We must protect our black women at all costs. And the biggest way we could do that in this election is to vote.
Generations upon generations of black folk have risen to meet their moment. And this, for black men, is ours.
Everybody is trying to get our vote.
What do you say to black men who do say the economy was better under Trump?
I don't remember this magical time period when everyone was doing well.
The stimulus checks, the locking people up for selling weed. These are the street topics that's happening. That's all I keep hearing.
Raise your hand if you know someone who's been shot or killed by gun violence. I mean, look at this.
Is we are facing an election for democracy versus a dictatorship.
They want to have somebody to blame the election results on, and they're not going to do that by blaming.
You know, if they blame black men for Kamala Harris losing the election, if they blame us, T. Riggles, I can live with that. I can live with that. That will only show the people that we're not playing. You won't just get our vote because you asked for it.
Yeah.
So they can blame. They could say it's. They could just say it's my fault, and I'll take that.
Well, I look at it like this: if Kamala loses, right, then the voting machines, they weren't able to put the bug in the machine. You understand what I'm saying? Because right now, I just saw a clip from Question Everything, and I think Dane Calloway also put up the same video where it's showing Kamala already won the presidency, like at 52% versus 47, and they put it on the on the teleprompter, like saying that
they made a mistake the other day and put that on. I forgot which network. I think it was ABC did it. I seen that they projected her as the as winning,
the victor. Yeah.
yes, but that doesn't mean anything because it don't mean nothing because I swore Hillary Clinton had it in the bag. I went to sleep, woke up, Trump was president.
Yeah. Hey, facts. Hey, facts. Look. This voter fraud thing going on. It's a real serious thing. I even made a video on a computer programmer going to Congress and stating that, yeah, this is. I put a bug in the system that the bug would everything would be tallied up, and then the bug would make sure that whoever he wanted to win, the bug would just adjust it. So with that said, this voter fraud that's going on, and everyone hacking into each of these systems, like it's so disappointing to that we have come to this point, and don't no one know about this. Like no one knows about this. You don't know that we're going through this electronical age where everything can be tampered with. I'm like, okay, all right.
Everything definitely, especially if it's digital, can be tampered with. They can, these hackers can hack anything. But what it just don't sit right with me that our people, in particular, the men, would sit around and think that there's a benevolent politician that's going to do something for us. We would be better off in organizing amongst ourselves and changing our condition ourselves. That's a better idea than waiting for some politician. But again, I'm gonna keep saying it. Weak men make me sick. It's easier for them to do this right here. It's easier for them to do this than for us to organize as men and don't give a damn about who's in that office. Because if we was like we should be, it wouldn't matter. Nobody else is. You don't see no Hispanic men holding no goddamn summit. No Asian men holding no damn summit. We're the only one holding summits talking about this bullshit on BET.
Oh. One-sided.
AET's not doing it. You don't see Asian entertainment television doing this shit.
No.
You don't see the RNN or none of these people doing this. They're trying to say that we are the factor of it, of the elections. We may be, but we should stand tall and stand firm. If you don't offer us nothing, we're staying the hell home. That's it. I don't care who you put before us. We're staying home. That's it.
And it's totally unbalanced right now. So right now, from this summit, what we're saying is that there isn't any brothers that are Republican right now. There's no brother. Of course, there's brothers that are Republican. And so should they get a summit too? So we can have some type of balance here? We're only getting one side of this coin here. Can we hear the other side? Even though we all know it's just all crap. But let's just hear the other side. Let's hear what the brothers that are conservative, extremely. And let's hear their take on it.
Exactly. I agree with that. But this is so biased and lopsided, and it's just weak to me. It's a weak effort. It's a weak ass effort to sway the brothers into voting, period. Because a lot of brothers is talking about, share my sentiment. They don't have a candidate that they'll vote for. A lot of brothers think like that. There's some brothers thinking both ways, Democratic or Republican, and there's a lot of brothers thinking like how I think. Look, I'm not even voting. I've never voted. Why would I go out now? Then at 60 years old and vote for somebody that no, I just don't see it. I don't think there's a politician that's going to be benevolent enough to do anything for our people. So I think it's up to us.
Well, I told Philly, I said, if you become or you're running for the Department of Agriculture, I said, I'm voting for you. It'll be the first time I vote. You know what I mean? Like, I know you're not a frat brother. You haven't been corrupted. You haven't been swayed. No one's going to sway you with no amount of dollar amount. I'll vote for you if it's like that.
I mean,
and technically speaking,
I share that sentiment, bro. I share that sentiment, and also, it's like when it comes to politics, and when it comes to the fear mongering, our people are really susceptible to the fear monger. You got the politicians talking about Project 2025 and all that, and I'm looking at how our people's failure to organize. Perhaps that's what we need, brother. Whether it's in that plan, it's probably what we need.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, taking the words from William Cooper, right? He basically was saying, William Cooper, he's the author of Behold the Pale Horse.
Had that book.
And look, this is one of the few books I've read, and it was life-changing. Really structured. Okay, where I'm at, who's in charge, and then so if brothers are going to come up and talk and gather like this, as they're doing here, if we're not going to mention the ones that have infiltrated this government thing, have infiltrated, and then are a few groups of men, and we're not going to talk about these orders here, then we ain't got nothing to talk about. If we're not going to put that on the table here, we got to be real with each other, right? Right. Something has came into this system and is really being the puppeteer. So if we're not going to talk about these few groups here running things, like, I don't want to have a conversation with you, then that means that you don't know what's really going on. As Dick Gregory would say, right? What we're witnessing and what we're even hearing at this vomit, these are games. These are all games right here.
You're right, bro. I agree, bro. I agree with everything you said, bro. Just games, bro. You know what? It's senseless games. You know how somebody try to spit game, they don't got game. That's what it is, bro.
Yeah. And I got to admit, the first time watching it, I'm kind of yelling at the computer. The second time I watched it, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's right. T, calm down, get to your senses. Yeah, everyone paid here. I'm pretty sure they had a teleprompter somewhere in there.
Yes, sir. But when I watched this, as I was watching this, I was saying, I want to talk about this with T. Riggles. That's who I want to talk about this with. As I was watching it the first time it aired. And that's when I contacted you. I said, I got to talk about this with him. Because we are, basically on the same page with, with how they do things and the games they're trying to run. We know what time it is when it comes to the games they're trying to run on our people, in particular the brothers. You know, if you have something else to say, we can. You know, if not, I'm gonna go back to the video. But if you want to add, you know,
No, go ahead, go ahead. We can go through this. I can talk all day.
But it's yours till you're done, brother.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
We're not going to be somebody's scapegoat.
Stay with us. The BET Black Men Summit will continue in a moment. Welcome back to the BET Black Men's Summit.
Welcome back. Now, I want to dig into the candidate's approach to fighting crime in our communities. We want safer communities, police reform. Wes Bellamy, honestly, which candidate, and just, which candidate you think gives us the best opportunity for that dynamic to happen?
Well, to me, I think it's very simple. I'll tell a really quick story. From 2016 to 2020, I was the vice mayor of Charlottesville, Virginia. Many of you are aware in 2017, we had white supremacists come to our community.
Oh, the good people on both sides.
Right. So I was the only black person on the council at the time, the youngest person elected. And after a group of white supremacists literally came into our community and unalived someone, rest in peace to Heather Heyer, the first press conference that 45 had, he stated that, again, literally, there are good people on both sides. Furthermore, this is the same individual, if we're talking about who should be, who should we trust to keep our community safe, wants to provide police officers with full immunity to be able to do whatever it is that you want.
You know, this brother is right. He's right. You know, about Trump. He's right about Trump. He's right about Trump. But when people talk about Kamala Harris, they're right about her too. That's my stance on it. He's right about Trump. Everything this brother said about Trump is right. You know, Trump wants to indemnify the police. He wants to do that. He said it. So anybody saying that he didn't say it, it came out of his mouth. To indemnify the police is to hold them blameless no matter what they do. That's what that means. Yeah.
And there's something sinister. There's even something more sinister with that, you know, especially when we speak about the black woman that got unalived in her face.
Yes, sir.
What was her? Was it Massey? That's her name?
Sonia Massey.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that. And so, especially when we speak about Massey, there was something very special about Miss Massey, and to give a police officer full immunity for doing something like that, you've lost your mind. Like, stop playing.
Yes,
we should know the difference. We should know the difference in self-defense and all of that. Obviously, you know, that officer had not just serious issues, but I have a strong feeling that, you know, he was ordered to do something to Mrs. Massey. And so no immunity for that. There should be no immunity for that. It doesn't even matter. Even if it was someone of another color, there should be no immunity for that. There was no reason, absolutely none, for an officer who I respect, y'all. It's a tough gig. I'm not going to be a police officer. There's no damn way I'm going to do that. And so for the ones that do, shouts out to you. But when y'all go overboard like that, no, there should be no immunity for that.
Brother, I agree with you. And Donald Trump, again, he said he will indemnify them, hold them blameless. And Sonia Massey, you know, what he spoke about concerning her, like everything else he speak about concerning our people, was real weak. It wasn't sympathetic, you know what I'm saying, at all when he spoke about her. It wasn't sympathetic. And it wasn't, you know, and he had nothing to say about the officer. A lot of cops had something to say about that cop who did it. But he is so worried about losing the support of the FOP.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're a lobby themselves, the FOP. The national FOP is a lobby themselves. And he didn't want to be on their bad side because the police, for the most part, will be voting for Trump. The FOP is going to, for the most part, I guarantee they endorse Trump. They don't endorse Harris.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
You know?
I mean, the military, those generals, all back Trump. And yeah, for good reason. There's something, because we don't know the whole story here, but there is something really seriously happening behind closed doors, right? And whether this something can come through the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, this something can come through, and this is where I'm teetering, because this something has to be dealt with. Because if we don't deal with it, look, America is going to go. It's over. It's over if we don't deal with who these groups of men are. Whether we want to point the finger at secret orders, whether we want to point the finger at frat brothers and sororities. Look, something has to change. And I fall back on that.
I agree, brother. Let's get back to the vomit.
Yes.
Want to do whenever you feel like a situation arises that requires you to not use best practices, whether that be using patience, calling a mental health professional, but if you believe a person needs to be shot down like a dog in the street, you do so and you won't have to face any consequences. So when we talk about a matter of safety, a matter of keeping our community safe, you have a person who literally just rambles and acts off of emotion, compared to an individual who's saying that I candidly want to use legislation and policy to find ways to not only keep our community safe, but help us thrive in every way imaginable.
You said something that I very rarely hear black men say, safe.
Yeah.
And when we use it in that context, it's never for us. You've never, no, I'm just talking about in your lexicon, when have you ever said the notion of safety is something somebody else gets to have and you don't? But it is because it's so far removed the concept. You started to say something.
Yeah, it's interesting. What you were just saying just triggered something in me, and that is like what we're worried about her record as a prosecutor, and we want to attach her to a bunch of incarcerated.
They didn't give him no other script because he said this about 3-4 times. Yeah. I mean, how many times have he said the same thing, bro? I mean, you're an actor, man. You're an actor. You can't improvise. Damn.
Yeah.
Said the same thing over and over again.
Over and over again. Sound like the radio now at this point. Like you're really getting desperate to get the coochie now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're stooping real low and keep saying all of this stuff. But hey, look, and this is why I had to watch it for the second time. And then come to the realization and say, "Hey, man, I get it. You're getting paid right now, so I'm not mad at you.
Yes, sir.
Not mad at you.
Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir. Bought and paid for, bro. But he's a good actor, Michael Ealy. Very good actor.
I like him.
I like his performance on the Power series. He was real convincing on it, but right now, he's doing a terrible job, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I liked him when he was doing. I think he wasn't on Grey's Anatomy. I was like, okay.
Yeah, he's a good actor all together. All his work. I like all of his work as an actor, but you can't come tell me nothing that deals with my life and what I need to do. No, can't do that.
No, and you shouldn't be able to dictate what goes on with the people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I like stay in your lane. Like I'm gonna stay in mine.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna go into the acting world yet. You know what I mean? Like even though I've taken classes and all of that, but no. That's your lane over there, Michael. Right? I'm for the people. That's my lane. So don't try to make this crossover, to lead us into another burning house here. We're not doing that this go around.
You know, I'm not saying that the entertainer can't do both. I'm not saying that. Because it wouldn't be fair. Because there are entertainers who really give a damn. But I'm saying this: don't allow yourselves to be used by those who don't give a damn about us, and don't serve to our detriment. Don't allow yourself to be used. That's what I'm saying. Because an actor or entertainer can do both. They can do both because acting is their job. That's how they make their money. But you're not going to you're not going to tell me that I should do something that I am adamant about not doing, and try to shame me into doing it. No, if I have a right to vote, I have a right to vote for who
Facts.
I want to vote for, or I have a right to not vote. That's it.
Incarcerations that didn't exist. And yet,
And
if you look at the two candidates,
Yes, sir.
Look, man, look, enemies public. I love our people. I love humanity as a whole. Right. I just have a problem. I have a problem trusting people that serve two masters.
Yes, sir.
It can't be done. If you're for the people, be for the people. If that means you have to go against the brotherhood, hey man, it's for all of us. And then the ones on their way, and here's where, man, I'm telling you, I'm probably shooting myself in the foot, but I'm gonna have a problem, trusting and knowing that if you're part of a fraternity or a brotherhood, maybe my views might change down the line, but that's serving, like, in a way, two masters. That's the way I look at it.
Brother, I agree. I mean, when it comes to that frat order and all that, bro, that they call that a brotherhood, but they got so many damn rituals that you got to go through in order to just be a brother, and a lot of cats are proud of that too. They're just so proud of their fraternity because what they're doing is they're mimicking. They're mimicking. They couldn't be a part of the fraternity, the fraternal order of it's like starting Second Baptist Church because you couldn't be a part of First Baptist.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They couldn't join the white people's fraternity, so they started their own. That's it.
And and it's
when you look at the George Floyd's.
Go ahead, brother.
No, and it's like just as you said, so that's what the checkerboard's about. You've got that version, and then you got the boule version. And within these versions that we have here, there's still racism and discrimination between the two.
You're right.
Like, the same thing is happening. Like, even if you didn't take the oath, you'll be here with the people, you're going to get discriminated on. If you take the oath and all of that, yeah, you get a little perks, but this thing still remains the same. You're going to be discriminated against. No, you can't have your own television program. No, you can't own your own liquor company. No, you can't own your car, be the first brother to start a car manufacturing company. No, you can't. So what's the difference, y'all?
Brother, that's right. That right there is some key points you just brought up. It's like, we'll give you enough. We'll allow you to have enough to look down on your people. but you cannot get eye to eye with us. That's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
And the minute you attempt to do that, we're going to crush you. Now,
And I learned that.
I'm
From
going to go,
watching. Sorry, go ahead. My bad.
I've learned that from watching Diddy. I learned that from watching him.
Hey, I learned it. I learned it from Cosby.
Cosby, Diddy, anybody else who you know, did dirt with those people. They know you did it because they was there and they was doing it too. But you're not them. They allow you to do it to get it on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They do the dirt with you to get the dirt on you. They allow all that. They'll let you bubble until you get too big for your britches.
Yeah.
You get too big for your britches, that's what they do to you. And all the dirt you do with them, they can do that dirt and never get brought to justice. But they allow you to do it the same way they allow dude to do it is, you know, it's the tactics that he used on people. No, they allow you to look down on your people, but not get eye to eye with them. They allow that. But the minute you try to be free,
yeah,
or free your people, they're gonna make problems for you. You know, freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not. It don't cost you nothing. Just be dumb.
Yeah.
You know, the freedom don't cost you a thing. You can just be dumb for free.
For free.
It don't cost you nothing.
And it's sad.
What situation?
It's sad.
Go ahead,
it's
my
really
brother.
truly sad. It's
Yes,
really
sir.
truly sad. I'll tell you something. It's I've been offered to join, 6 times, right? By 2 different groups. And I should have saved them all. I only saved one of them. And there is no way, there's not amount of money, nothing would ever, with everything that I know and others, I know you know this, for y'all to do that. You've already now put yourself, you've confined yourself, you've added more chains to the situation now. You know what I'm saying? And so it's to me, it's, I guess, how can I say this? I guess materialism is a serious thing here.
Oh
And
yeah.
I land.
Which one is more likely to pardon the killers of George Floyd? Which one?
That's a question.
Wow. Because he's already going for the blanket immunity.
More and more and more fear mongering. More and more fear mongering. That's all they do is fear monger. The boogeyman, the boogeyman, the boogeyman. That's all it is. But they're not. They're saying with all these criterias and qualifications, but they're not pointing to anything. All they doing is fear mongering, pointing at somebody who, the big boogeyman, big bad Trump. I'm not saying Trump. I mean, I don't particularly like Trump at all. But you're not going to sit here and clean her up like she not, just as bad as he is. You're not going to do that with me. That don't sit right with me. Thinking that you can, he's as dirty as they say he is. He is. So is she. So is she.
Look, I'll say this. The only thing I'll say, I'm not a fan of Trump, but I respect you. I respect you way more than Kamala and some of these brothers I'm hearing.
Me
At
too.
least at least you're being true with yourself and with others, and let's add to the equation here, that he is a Gemini. So I really do understand that, one, you are a natural born leader here. Most Geminis are. If you take your track record of all the Geminis, especially in our hip hop game here, a lot of the leaders are Geminis in this, who gets the top spots, are Gemini. So I do understand that you do have two faces, and you play this two face well. You make me laugh, Trump. You got some jokes, but we'll see what happens. I really do. And if I was in this voting thing, of course I'm going to vote for Trump. For me, it's a no-brainer. As we'll hear from the summit, that they said that, oh, it's a no-brainer who to pick. Like, come on, y'all. Like, are you serious right now?
Listen to the wordplay, brother. It says a no-brainer. You have to have no brain.
You got no brains.
And to pick one of them, you gotta have no brain. It's a no-brainer.
Straight up.
Which one would do it? Do you know what's interesting? You have children, you know the story. You teach them, like, don't look them in the eye and be respectful and watch your moves.
Yeah.
It is lunacy to teach our children to be held to a higher count than the paid professionals we paid to patrol our neighborhood. But it is such a fear in us that is what we're reduced to.
Think about how crazy that is. The fact in which, as you just alluded to, and think about the psychological and mental trauma that we're asking our children to jump through these loops just to keep you safe, opposed to being able to teach those who are supposed to be sworn to serve and protect, to do the right thing. And we want to be clear, not all police officers are bad. And we know that not all individuals who have been sworn to protect and serve are doing nefarious things, but to provide them with blanket immunity and then have black men say that, you know what, I'm willing to potentially side with that person. Those are real conversations that we have to have with them about why you're choosing to do so.
Now, of course, gun violence is the leading cause of death for black men under the age of 44. While with us in the audience is activist Greg Jackson, a gun violence survivor. On this issue, Greg, I know it's very personal, but does it matter who's president? Gun violence issue, does that matter?
Yeah, DL, it definitely matters. And I've had the honor of serving in the White House, but I'm here in my personal capacity. This is personal for me. In April 2013, I was shot after a club let out, and the bullet that hit me hit 2 arteries. And I'll never forget getting to the hospital. And before I met my doctors or my surgeons, I met investigators and went through 3 rounds of investigation where I was literally bleeding to death and fighting for my innocence and for my life at the same time, just to find out that I had a 26-minute window left to live due to blood loss and a 50% chance of making it out of surgery. And I'll never forget that feeling of being seen as a suspect first and a person second. And unfortunately, that's what we're seeing in our country, all over our country every single day. Raise your hand if you know someone who's been shot or killed by gun violence. I mean, look at this. Every single person in this room. This is the #1 cause of death of black youth since 2006. And since I was shot, nearly 1 million Americans have been taken by this crisis. For me, that's one of my childhood friends. That was nearly me. 2 of my mentees, one of which who came to Capitol Hill to fight for the policies to address gun violence. That's who we're losing in this crisis. And here we are coming out of coming into an era where we have a vice president who has been working on this issue, has been leading the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, who passed the first law in 30 years, who has been focused on this issue almost her entire life. And literally.
That's a lie. He cannot say she
That's
was
a lie.
on her whole life. Come on, stop it. Focus on that issue her whole life. That's an outright lie. That's why they can't be trusted, because they're outright lying. Now, the George Floyd Act. What about being that we are being killed at such a high rate? Why don't that be considered a hate crime to kill one of us out of haste like they do everybody else. They pass it for the Asians. They pass it. They pass laws that protect people based on a damn sexuality. Based on the sexuality, they're a protected class of damn people, but we get killed, at a higher rate than anybody, and we don't get a law passed to protect us and make us as a protected class of people. I think that we should consider ourselves a protected class of people and damn protect ourselves against anybody who would do harm to us. We don't need no legislation. If they won't do it, we have to do it. That's my sentiment when it comes to that.
I think that's what Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said, well, if you want to stop police brutality, you're going to have to do something about that.
Exactly.
Not paperwork or anything of that nature. And see, here's the thing, man. Look, here's the thing. Look. People might not like what I'm about to say about right now, especially when we speak about police brutality. When I read on how the police force got started, what was their true intentions, right? What's their core intentions of this thing we call police? I said, oh, if that's the case right there, to gather all the brothers and bring them back? Oh, well, then no brother here, right, in your right mind, no brother should be upset with police brutality. It is called business as usual.
And this right here, brother, is politics as usual. As the brother Dennis Austin stated in the chat, they are under a script. And that's the truth. All of this, and I'm glad, the brother sees that this is performative. All of this is performative. There's nothing real about this. It's performative.
Yeah.
And it's politics as usual.
It hurts.
Yes, sir.
It kind of, like the first time watching it, this hurt my feelings, man. I got a little emotional, like, are we serious, brothers? And then I come to my senses.
Yes, sir.
It's look, I gotta keep telling myself it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I mean, I want to blame you, but we're wise, we're intelligent, so I can't blame you. I really can't. I just feel I'm just disappointed. That's the correct word. I'm just disappointed.
Yes, sir.
Literally has ushered in the steepest decrease in homicides in American history for now 2 years in a row. But during the Trump administration, we saw the steepest spike in murders in American history. And that's not numbers. Those are our friends. Those are our family members. Those are our cousins, our nephews. And guess what he does? Brags about doing nothing. He says, well, we got to get over it. Get over it? I'm not getting over my mentee in the casket. Watching his mother cry. Watching his football coach wonder what he's going to do. Watching his teacher say, man, he was so full of promise. 13 years old. I'm not getting over that. We can't get over that.
Thank you, man.
That's real.
When we come back, former President Obama called black men out, saying that many of us are sexist if we do not vote for VP Harris. We're going to dig into that, so you just stay with us.
I'm speaking to men directly. Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
I think we got to be honest in our own community about the reality of sexism.
So, like, if you're masking your sexism with, she's not black. So what is it?
Elections are choices. We have a choice right now. I think this is the clearest choice we've ever seen in a presidential election.
Stay with us. The BET Black Men Summit will continue in a moment. Welcome back to the BET Black Men's Summit.
Welcome back. Now, of course, earlier this month, President Barack Obama, he called us all out. He said that some black men aren't feeling having a woman president. Let's roll the clip and we will discuss it on the other side.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it.
Now, I cringe when I watch this.
Yeah.
I do. This is very cringeworthy for him to have the audacity to even think that he can speak to us, and especially the manner in which he spoke to us, telling us what he have a problem with concerning what we do as men. Okay, that's cringeworthy to me. And we see, with the exception of the Secret Service men that's surrounding him, we see who he's talking to. He's talking to these young brothers who don't know him. He couldn't come to a group of men my age and talk at all. It would be very short-lived, because first he'll be told who the hell he think he is, thinking he can come talk to us. Period. Who the hell do you think you are, thinking you could come talk to us after ignoring us for 8 years as the president, and thinking you can come tell us that we should vote for who you want us to vote, or we should vote because you want us to vote? You got it, brother.
Yeah. It was honestly, it was, I felt like a child. And then, how like the children came up with those, there's a line that the children come up and say, well, what are those? Or whose man is this? That's just how I felt. Like, are you serious? You're going to just come out of the cave? I don't know where you've been. I mean, even though that you have influence. You have influence on what the Biden administration has been doing. Okay, cool. But now you come out, and now it's almost like you're acting like, oh, you're our father.
Exactly.
We're Luke right now. We're Luke Skywalker, and then now you're reaching your hand out and you're saying, I am your father. And then we're saying, no, I'm not gonna let go. I'm gonna fall. I'm not grabbing your hand, buddy. Like, so it was a, let's say, if I would make a football reference, you tried to run, Democrats, you tried to run a reverse, and it just didn't work. You didn't fool the outside linebacker at all. He stayed home, and then we saw the reverse come in, and he just made the tackle. It was a loss of 5 yards on that play, honestly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get back to the whatever we're gonna call this.
Yeah.
Makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
Okay, we
say speaking to the men, but he's speaking to men at the college level who are just arriving at manhood. That's the trick. He know he can't speak to no grown ass man like that. Again, that meeting would have been short-lived, because he probably would have been told in chorus where he can go with his foolishness. You think you could come talk to us? And who sent you? Go back and tell them it didn't work, because it's insulting for you to think you can talk to us. Can't talk to us because you didn't talk to us. You come talk to us now? You don't get up out of here, man.
Yeah, that part. And look, and this is why, look, this is what I love about the youth. See, the youth, they not dumb now. They may not know what's happened before, But this move that was made, I was just speaking to a young brother. He was probably in his 20s, like 23, 24. And we having a conversation. And the brother, he, out the gate, brother said, man, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm voting for Trump. You know, so this awareness, this shift that is happening, you know, the Democrats, you are losing control here. Let's just keep it 1,000, okay? Right? Because you're losing your blue flag right now. Now, a lot of people are swaying to the red, and this is how it's going to be. And hopefully for you Democrats, that you have a really good computer programmer hacker, you know, to play with the machine and the numbers, because right now that's your last resort in order to make Kamala the president. No, I'm not lying.
Yeah, you're right, brother. This would definitely this summit, vomit, and Obama were, you know, desperation moves, the last efforts of desperation to try to get brothers, you know, to vote, not only vote, but vote democratically. And you know, this is it's a terrible it's terrible in effort. And they got a group of brothers together who are with the same party. There's nobody to challenge, because just imagine if we had brothers in the audience that can challenge what any of them saying. That would be this summit will last, you know, over an hour and 7 minutes, because it would turn into a debate in which they will lose. They will lose the debate. They would.
Yeah.
And a summit, I mean, I've been to a lot of summits. They lasted for days. They didn't last for an hour and 7 minutes. So this lets us know it's performative and it's a Hollywood production.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Like, there's no other words to explain what this. I'm sorry, brothers, for saying this, but you know, it's all this buffoonery that's going on here. You know, we've got some serious problems going on here. You know, we've got migrants here. You know, we've got people crossing the borders. We've got people that are homeless. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot going on, and we're talking about this, yo.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro.
I just don't get it. You know what I mean? I just don't get it. But whatever.
We are here now with Tennessee State Representative Justin J. Pearson, Ben Crump, and Michael Ely. So they're joining us on the panel. Okay. As a nation, we've never had a female leader. Never. Right. So there is an unspoken idea that a lot of people have, whether they say it out loud or not. So what was your impression?
Look, I love President Obama. And I think we got to be honest in our own community about the reality of sexism and the role that patriarchy plays in our own community.
Sure.
I go to
that, you know, I apologize for stopping it so much, but that is a white folks thing. That's a white folks thing.
What is he, McPherson?
That brother from Tennessee that won the new Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
What he just said about the sexism, that is a white folks thing. That's a white folks thing. Our families were straight and are straight. Again, the feminist movement did the Sister Act. They wanted our sisters in their numbers. And they were sent to our sisters by their men to get us in their numbers so they can get some rights. They created the gender divide, the feminist movement. All that, sexist foolishness that they talk about, that's white folks crap. It's learned behavior among some of us. It's learned behavior because we can see it, in certain genres of music and entertainment. But everyday people, how we live, that's a bunch. That sexist foolishness is foolishness. That's some white folk stuff. While a group of brothers is talking about sexist behavior among brothers, a bunch of damn nonsense. For the most part, that's some white folks foolishness. White folk stuff. That's and the new Jesse Jackson is coming in pandering to the feminist movement. That's what he's doing.
I can see why you say that. He's got a, this is the first time I've seen the Tennessee representative, young, fro, he's got the Jesse Jackson talk, that 70s, lingo going down, now with the Democratic Party, now you might have some hope in this guy here. If you prep him well, you keep his hands clean, he might be able to sway the brothers that they lost back over to the blue side. I don't know. I liked his style. I liked his delivery. But like you just said, all your words, it's come on now. Come on.
As soon as I laid eyes on him and heard him speak, and when I seen him with the other brother that has the perm, I said, these people think that we are dumb. They think that we are dumb. They're going to give us a new Al Sharpton and a new Jesse.
A new Jesse.
That's the first thing I thought about when I seen him speak. I seen the afro, and then I seen the other young brother that he was with. They're walking around. I'm like, if our people fall for this, if our people fall for this one, we deserve every damn thing we get.
Yeah, facts. He sounded so good. I was thinking about, maybe I should change up my voice and be like, sometimes when you get down to the little ground and to the bio, and then I had a dream.
I mean, he speaks very he sounds like a damn Negro spiritual, brother. That's what he sounds like. He sounds like a Negro spiritual.
Yeah, he sounds like he was protesting in the 70s, you know what I'm saying, on the microphone.
Like he got that you job turkey.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
That's what he sounds like. He sounds like a 70s damn roast when they go back and forth. That's what he sounds like. He's not.
But you know what? He got it though.
Well, I see through it, so he don't got it. He got it to those he can fool.
Yeah.
Again, it's the deception. You know what I'm saying? It's the deception. I'm not going to do it, Brother P. Moses. I'm not going to do it. So I don't subscribe to none of that foolishness. He came in raising his fists, with the I am somebody, that type of stuff. That's the vibe I get. I am somebody. I may not rightfully know who the hell I am. I am somebody.
Hey man, shouts out to Khalid, man. Oh my gosh. Oh man, everyone had to love Khalid when he did that. when he said Jesse, messy. Jackson.
That's what I get. That's the vibe I get from the young brother. I'm telling you.
Oh man, I like his hair though.
The churches a lot, and there are people who will greet me and not greet my fiance, who's standing right next to me. So like, there's a real conversation we need to have about what is going on inside of our communities and what we can do to make sure that we unlearn some of the behaviors that are really negative, right, and that are really harmful. What is also really important is that we do understand the facts. An overwhelming majority of Black men are voting for Vice President Kamala Harris to be president of the United States. Right? 80% of us. So, you know, the truth is, you got that one uncle that you need to talk to. But the majority of us, we good. Right? Like we on the same page. But there is some work that we are going to have to do as a community to figure out what are the qualms, what are the issues, what are the problems that 20% or so of Black folks who a few years ago were voting Democratic and all that are having. And I will say this about Donald. In our country, our socialization has taught us to praise people with a lot of money. Yeah. Our socialization has taught us to praise people who are famous. Right. Our socialization has.
Did you hear what he just said?
Look, man.
Which is the reason this whole summit is going on.
Yeah.
Which is the reason the summit exists. Money. And to praise people and be influenced by people who are famous.
Yes. Like, come on, representative. You wouldn't be on stage if there were 3 homeless people there. You wouldn't be there. So what are you talking about?
Yes, sir. You're absolutely correct. And as intellectual as this young brother is, could they have pulled it off with him as the host? That's the question.
Hey, look, could they pull it off?
They had to get a someone who they think they can someone they control, who they think can influence us and get us through him. That's their intentions, is to get us through who they think can influence us. But Dale Hughley don't influence us. Michael Ealy don't influence us. Jermaine Dupri don't influence us. Benjamin Crump do not influence us. But they think, it's their mindset. It's what they think of us. I always say, how they pander to us is how they see us. But it's not working, and it's so frustrating to them that it don't work today. It don't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I mean, honestly, they had, with the brother speaking, I think he would have better success than Kamala. Honestly, if he was running for president, I mean, Trump would probably destroy you in the debate, but you would give brothers and sisters. Oh, the sisters would have. I'm sold. But see, here's the problem, Representative. Here's the problem with that 20% that you mentioned, right? And you mentioned the uncle, and some people will call the uncles crazy. Nah, maybe the uncles, Representative, have seen the Candace Owens thing. Have you thought about that, Representative? Because no one hasn't mentioned anything yet, but maybe that 20%, that uncle, you can't talk. If you're going to talk to the uncle, well, the uncle is going to give you their side and say, well, Kamala isn't Black because of such and such and such and such and such. And the uncle is going to say, how do you going to vote for a known deceiver and a liar? Could anyone make sense of that? This is what the uncle was going to say.
Yes, sir. I agree with that. But, the topic right now that they're talking about is confronting sexism. And they're trying to say the uncle, a man who is set in his ways. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to say a man that's set in his ways is not going to, vote for a woman as president. That's where they're going when it comes to this foolishness. But it's like it's other things that uncles is not going to accept either, if you know what I'm going.
Yeah, for sure.
And they would try to convince the uncle to accept that. Sometimes it's certain things that we should be set in our ways and not accept this new thing that's going on, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly where you're going.
You know what I'm saying? They're not going to accept that either. You can't bring that to Unc because I'm an Unc. Certain things you can't bring to me, and I'm set in my ways with this new stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
You know, my wife, which is the truth, said Jermaine Dupri wear little girl socks with ruffles. So he can't influence us.
Nah.
Definitely can't influence us wearing little girl socks with ruffles.
Nah, and you one of Diddy's boys, ain't you? Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Thanks for the commentary, wife. That's the truth, though. That's the truth. That's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's taught us to praise people who can get a lot of women and can say what they want and do what they want and have said, hey, that's the image of a real man. That's the image of a strong person. That's the image of a real leader who can just fire people at will. Now he's running for president. And a lot of people are like, wait, no, that's not it anymore. Right. But years of socialization have taught us that actually that is the image that America has put forward as the image of what you want to be, of the person that you want to lead. So it isn't just a black issue. We got a nationwide issue about the perception of hypermasculinity masquerading as leadership, when in fact it was our mamas and our grandmamas and our great-grandmamas who got us here.
A word such as hypermasculinity, you know who made that word up?
No, who made that word up?
No, you know who made that word up. The same people who made up toxic masculinity.
I'm sorry for
that. Masculine that is toxic and it's hyper masculinity. These are such. These talking points get on my damn nerves.
It gets on my nerves. What do you mean? Like, okay, I'm gonna give an example of a person, right? Of a person that I really don't like, but Elon Musk came in, bought Twitter, fired everybody. Okay, fired everybody, hired new people, and X is still here, running smoothly. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, these talking points irk my nerves. You know,
and then to say,
hyper masculinity, toxic masculinity, black identity extremists. It's like, you know, everything that tells us to not be our damn self as a man.
Yeah.
That shit irks me, man.
Yeah.
That irks me. And you get somebody who look like us to push this foolishness. Irks me.
And then what irks me too is just like, okay, yeah, all right, I'm a dictator, but I can let my grandmama lead me,
bro.
I can let my mom lead me.
Your mom's a dictator. She was a dictator.
You see what I'm saying? So it's, you know, that talking point where they're basically insinuating, you know, with Obama too, insinuating like what you're afraid of a woman leading. That's got nothing to do with it. Grandmas, great grandmamas did that already.
Exactly, brother. Exactly. Now, your mom's a dictator. I'm gonna ask you a question, my brother.
Yeah.
If your mom's wouldn't there and cook dinner, could you go in there and cook something else?
Nope.
Try that if you want to in my mama's house.
Yeah, it's not flying.
She tell you to bring your ass home a certain time. What happened if you didn't?
Whooping.
So therefore, there's some dictatorship, which is order, which is law and order going on in your house.
Yeah.
That made you who the man you are to this date.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they take the words and they misconstrue the words. And you know, the people like to dirty up words and put them on people. They like to do that. Again, the man was president before. He was president before. And he didn't do that in 4 years. I'm not saying what he won't do and what he will do, because I don't trust politicians at all, left or right. Again, I'm going to say it again. It's impossible for two wings on one bird to fly in a different direction. They're on the same damn bird, which is the bird they use as their mascot is the predatory bird that eats off the carcass of other nations. That's what an eagle does. It eats the carcass of other birds, smaller birds. Okay? That's the mascot they chose to use, the eagle, which is, a predatory bird. That's why I wouldn't vote left or right. I've never voted and never will vote. Put my trust in a politician? That's insanity to me.
That's insanity.
Insanity.
And then look, I give Trump this, and the card he holding. And I think this is the avenue he's going. It's about the haves and the have-nots. You ain't got no money, he ain't talking to you. You ain't got this status, oh, I ain't talking to you. You ain't got something, he ain't dealing with you. So this is where I see this card he's holding. You feel me? And it works for him. I ain't gonna
lie. It's like this. It's, most of them share that sentiment, though. Most of them, even the ones on that stage. I don't know if the young brother, the new Jesse Jackson share that sentiment. But see any of these fools at the airport and see if they're approachable.
Oh no.
See if they're approachable. It's a few. I've approached a few. I've met in New York. I met what's his name? Seth Gilliam. I met him in New York. Real approachable brother. You know what I'm saying? I met him, in New York. The one who played Detective Carter on The Wire. I met him in New York. Real cool brother. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a certain tax bracket, some of them don't want to talk to you. They wouldn't talk to you. Some will, but a lot of them won't.
I know, right?
Michael Jordan? Oh man, that's a mean dude. That dude that's a mean. He's a straight up asshole, man. Michael Jordan?
Arrogant.
And God forbid you say brother to him. Oh, you don't call him no brother, man. He don't like that.
Oh no, he gonna really go in on you.
That's one thing he don't like. He'll tell you straight up, I am not your brother. I've risen above y'all condition. Y'all down there. I'm up here.
Yeah.
You see me? I'm jumping. I'm air. I'm in the air. You on the ground.
Yeah. I saw that what he did to Chameleonaire. I was just like, oh.
And I seen it when he did it to some young brothers in a parking garage. It's just Michael Jordan. He tried to speak to him, and he just, brother, the way he treated those young brothers.
Yeah.
What I tell you? That part. I'm telling you, and the fro, baby. And the fro, baby. Listen. You know what's always interesting? We hear about the polls, and one of the things I know for sure, the quickest way to make a black man lie to you is walk up to him and ask him a question with a clipboard in your hand. So, I mean, it's just as ridiculous. And what I refuse to do is to let mainstream polling operations tell me what men I'm with every day think.
Yeah.
It's I refuse to believe that.
Hey, what's deep, DL? We talked the NAACP and Urban League, Reverend Al, and them a lot.
Negroes always ask Caucasian permission. And the No Action Network.
Yeah, because I can't stand his voice. I can't stand Crump's voice, man.
Yeah, he has one of those Fat Albert and the Gang voices. He talks like an intelligent mush mouth. That's what he talks like. It's evident that he, knows this law because when he goes in that courtroom, he come out with some money. I'll give that to him. But to say that he seek real justice, he seek punitive financial, money for people. I like when a attorney go after a criminal that did harm to our people in a vicious manner and get justice to the point that whoever violated one of our people is inside a jail for 30 years. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I
want to see that. I mean, getting the money, because, just imagine that money can't bring your baby back if your baby got killed by one of them demons. Can't bring your baby back. But I'd rather see a vicious attorney go in there and just have people locked up for 30, 40 years, rest of their life, for doing harm to our people. I want to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. But they'll probably after that verdict and after that lawyer did all of that damage, you know what I mean? Like, then we're gonna see another Johnny Cochran kind of event.
Now Johnny Cochran was vicious in defense. He was vicious when it came to being a defense lawyer. That's the tactics I like, to be vicious when it comes to defending your client. But to go in, okay, and all you do is get money, money is cool, but when somebody shot your baby, man, and all they can say, well, we'll give you a few $1 million, and dude is not locked up for the rest of his life, or at least let me have him. If you don't lock him up, let me get him.
Yeah.
Let me get him. I'll take that over all that. Let me get him.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I don't have children yet, so I can't even imagine that happening. To even a family member, or the anger, that takes a lot. That would have to take a lot of like inner strength to actually forgive that type of action. You know what I mean? I feel for all the families that had to go through that. That's real tough.
I can outright admit, brother, I'm not forgiving like that. No, there's something I know I couldn't do. What George Zimmerman did to that young brother, I couldn't forgive him for that. No.
Was it even Zimmerman that did that?
I don't know who. Well, that's who went to court for it. That's who went to court for it. But all I know is I wouldn't forgive for that. There's something I wouldn't. I can't forgive somebody for doing anything like that. No.
Yeah.
I mean, they tell us, they put that on us, that forgive crap. They tell us to forgive. They don't forgive. Mess with one of them. They say, okay, I'll forgive you, but your ass won't do this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we forgive when people don't even admit wrongdoing and apologize to us. We forgive. Look at the display of forgiveness and foolishness that happened in that courtroom when Amber Geiger went to jail. Brother running into the arms of his killer. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do that. There's no way in hell I could run into the arms of my killer and embrace my brother's killer. No way.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I could do that. That movie Time to Kill. Sorry, I shouldn't say that word, but yeah, with Samuel Jackson, and seeing that, it was anyone who saw that movie, couldn't blame Samuel for nothing.
somebody did that to my daughter, I'm just gonna say I share his sentiment. Put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you watch the movie, like even the man who he shot that lost his leg shared his sentiment.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? The white man he shot said, "Let him go."
Yeah.
So a lot of people share this sentiment.
Isn't it just profound at this moment in time that black men votes are coveted so much? I mean, I've never seen that in my life. And I think that's something, when I saw that Obama piece, I thought about how everybody is trying to get our vote.
But power concedes nothing without a demand. And I honestly believe this is one of the first time now.
See, and we're not taking advantage of that. We should take advantage of that, not just give it out. If people are fighting for our vote, we should be lobbying for our vote, and we should be like, look, this is what it's going to take for you to get our vote. But no, somebody's telling us we should just give it to this person or should give it to that person. No, we're not giving it to nobody. He said it's the first time that our votes are coveted. We should take advantage of that in our favor, not in theirs.
This lying, I'm going to disrespect you right now. You ain't ish, bro. I'm still going to stand on what I said before, Mr. Crump. And how dare you sit there and lie like that? Our votes don't matter.
Yes, sir.
Like, our votes don't matter. Like, Crump, you ain't nothing. Yeah, I don't like you, Crump. I really don't. I don't like how you operate. I don't like your vibe. I don't like how you were sitting there. I don't like I don't like all the hand signs you was doing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like nothing about you, Crump. And you just gonna sit there and say our votes are covered. Man, shut up. Like, shut up. Move to the side. Like with those type of people, I want to throw Al Sharpton in the same thing too. Like, y'all got this. I don't like y'all vibe and the way you deceive people. I just don't like it.
Yes, sir. I don't like nothing about Trump. I don't like Trump. I didn't even like the dance Trump. I didn't even like that either.
No, I didn't like that either. I
even like the dance Trump, brother. I even like that.
Yeah.
Nationally, collectively, we decided we want to hear you, but there are things we have to have for that. Right. It's transactional, which politics is supposed to be, right? Exactly. What was your reaction when you heard President Obama say that?
Well, there are some men who don't want to vote for a woman. Sure. The founders of Project 2025 really don't want a woman as president. Right. And their women don't want a woman as president. Sure. That is not being held to the same standard. If, in fact, you are one of those individuals who believe that a woman should not be president, speak on it. So, like, if you're masking your sexism with, she locked up a whole bunch of black men. Well, that's already been debunked. So what is it? Or she's not black. So what is it? What is it that's really, just speak on it.
Now, Ben, we can't have a convo about sexism or any other kind of ism without talking about the way some black men see the LGBTQ plus community. They see it as getting more attention than some of the concerns of black men. Man, that is something you hear constantly. So, Ben, what do you think? I mean, it's not like I'm,
well,
speaking out of school.
Everything has to be taken in context. When you think about civil rights, we must remember that if they can discriminate against them, then it makes it easier to discriminate against us.
We got black queer folks in our community, in our families.
Okay, that's the truth. That's the truth, but why are they separating themselves from the ethnicity. I'm not for bashing nobody because of their sexuality. Just don't bring it to me. That's not what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? You keep that over there to where you at. But he said we have, LGBT in our community. We do. That's a reality.
Yeah.
Yet they get to have laws that protect them based on a sexuality. But if they wasn't a part of that group, they wouldn't have laws that protect them. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have laws that protect them if they wasn't in a certain group based on a sexuality. Their law wouldn't protect them. It's saying if they would discriminate against them, they'll discriminate against us. They have more rights than we do. Based on their sexuality, they don't get no discrimination against them. It's a bunch of nonsense.
That's right.
Discrimination? If we don't get out of here with that foolishness.
It's just crazy, yo. Just thinking about what you're saying, it's just like, like how are they separate from men and women? I just don't get it, but I do get it. It's just signs of, so this is what happens when you get a group together and then you generate funds. So it's about the money, and I guess that will bring you power, not the knowledge. I guess it's the money. Like this is all. I'm getting sick by the minute.
That's nothing but a damn trick bag. That's all it is. It's a trick bag. It's a trick bag because let me tell you, it's racism in that group of people. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, so they might as well come back to their own damn people because Caucasian, LGBT discriminate against Black LGBT.
Yeah.
So it's racism within that group.
Yeah.
So why are they trying to be a part of a group that, you know what I'm saying? You might as well be who you are first as a Black person. Whether you do, I'm not into what somebody do in a bedroom. I'm not into that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Just keep it where it's at. It should be private, no matter what it is. To me, private.
Facts.
It should be private. I'm not interested in that shit. But for them to try and to say that people are being mistreated, I mean, it happened. Isolated incidents. It happens.
But look, check this out.
It happens, but as far as to say overall that somebody's being mistreated or discriminated because of that, no, that's a nonsense. But we damn sure get shot down on the street or pulled over because of how we look. That damn sure happens to us.
All day.
And we're not, and guess what? We gotta do all kinds of shit to receive justice. When that happens to us, we gonna go back to the sister. She called the police. The mother said, please don't send no racist ass cops to my daughter's house. And they sent a racist ass cop to the daughter's house instead of them clearing the call. When they found out there was no burglar around her house, they invite themselves into the sister's house. Tell the sister to take the pot off the stove, and when she does, he acts like he's so goddamn scared. A man about 6'5", got a duty belt on full of damn weapons, shoots a small woman half his damn size in the face over some water.
Some water. Like
Well, he could have gone and turned it down, pot off. Excuse me, man, I'm gonna turn your pot off. He was closer to it. He was closer to it.
Yeah, I saw that. That's all. That was live, on tape, documented. Yeah, there's no running away from that.
And what's crazy about that, brother T. Riggles, is he got in the line of fire of his partner to get his shot.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
But they're gonna talk about, somebody being discriminated against and harmed. Oh, stop. Serving this conversation is serving to our detriment, bro.
Yeah,
it is.
Like how does this? Look, let me ask you what. How does this work? Okay, so you have Pride Month in New York, and the brothers from Atlanta go to Pride Month in New York and get discriminated against. How does that work now?
That it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Oh, it did though. It did. They kicked the brothers out.
The brothers. Oh, I didn't catch what you said. So some brothers went to Pride Month and got discriminated against.
They got discriminated against, and then now Pride Month. Huh?
So where's the equality in that equation?
Yeah. Yeah. How does that work now? Because last time I heard, brothers in Atlanta want their own Pride Month separate from New York because of the discrimination that was going on. So how do you do what's the law in that? Makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's Second Baptist Church, because they can't join First Baptist.
And so whenever I live in Tennessee, we have passed more laws against LGBTQIA plus folks than anybody else in the union. And I continue to remind folks, if you open the door of oppression a little bit for somebody you think is different or other or an enemy of yours, the person you opening it with will open it a little bit wider to push you in. And when we think about our community and black folk, we all in this together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's a noble gesture or sentiment, and we should be all in it together and hold our vote and be like, look, you're not going to take advantage of our vote and take our vote for granted anymore. That's it. We all going to stand strong, 10 toes down as men and be like, we're not doing it. We're not going to vote for nobody who, especially when you think you can insult us by sending an entertainer to us and telling us to do something. No, that's insulting to me. Very insulting.
I wonder why Tennessee has more LGBT laws than everyone. What does Tennessee know more than everyone? That's a question I would love to be answered, Mr. Representative. There has to be a reason for that. Documented, logical reason for that.
It's probably because, but you can only speak about where it's happening in your state. If it's happening in your state, if they're being discriminated against, and 9 times out of 10, they're being discriminated against by other people in that group. 9 times out of 10, that's what's going on. But he's going to make it seem like heterosexual men can have the ability to discriminate against LGBTQ. No, they don't have the ability to do that. They don't. Why? Because they're a protected class of people. That's why. That is why.
And in my state, in LA, the heterosexuals are getting discriminated by. If you want to get into the movies now, you know what you have to do in order to. Oh, you want the role? Oh, yeah, you have to wear this pink something, and then you'll get the role. Like, okay, this is madness.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Interesting we have to understand that our concerns, you know, where we gather at this place is different. At one point, it's illegal for slaves to learn. Now they want to make it legal to learn about slaves. First, black people couldn't go to the bathroom, then gay people can't go to the bathroom, now transgender people. What are white people keeping in the bathroom is what I want to know. I got to see what's happening. If that's the divide, whatever we do to live in the bathroom, it must be a good credit score in there or something. But coming up, we're going to dig into VP Harris's opportunity agenda for black men. More Black Men Summit coming right up. Y'all stay tuned.
Brother, it looks like we're going to have to do a part 2.
Oh, I would love to. Don't trip. Don't trip. I'm with it.
I'm going to mark this where it's at, and we're going to pick it up. Let's do it. Let's do it election day.
Ooh.
Tuesday.
I'm with it. Tuesday is good.
Let's do it election day. This would be perfect for election day to do the part 2.
Yeah.
It has to be
I'll read some more.
It had to be a little later because I get out of work at 5:30. So what do you say about 8?
Yeah, that's good. That's good for me. My football season is over, so you know we have I got free time now, so I can adapt to whatever schedule you got. You the man right now.
Okay, no doubt. So we're gonna pick this up on Tuesday at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
And you know, brother, the pleasure is mine. It's been a good build. You know what I'm saying?
It's been great, man. It's such, hey man, you don't understand. It's such an honor to be with you, Enemies Public. Real talk. You are
pleasure's mine, brother.
You know what I mean? Like you are somebody really important here, you know, and I recognized that early, you know, when I first joined everyone here. So, hey man, thank you for having me on, man. And much love to you.
Thank you
and
for
your
coming, brother.
bro.
Thank you for coming, brother. You know, if you have anything that you would like to say in parting, please do.
Oh yes, I would love that. Thank you again. Hey, my bad to the chat. My bad for not acknowledging y'all in the beginning. My bad. I won't do it again. And my closing remarks is I don't like Crumb or whatever that dude is a bad guy. And if you know we're at this point now, everyone, that you know some of our elders are gone. You know, grandma's not here. You know. So if no one has told you that they loved you and you're doing a good job, man, the Riggles is saying, man, I love you. And brothers, you're doing a great job. And the sisters too. We ain't gonna forget you either. You know what I mean? Much love to everyone.
But before I go, I'm going to acknowledge everyone for joining us this evening. I appreciate you for coming through and hanging out with Brother Nasir and Brother T. Riggles. I want to thank Big Dog Philly OG, A-Notch 424, Relentless, Dominique. I want to thank my queen, Mrs. The Enemies Public, Goddess D of Love. I want to thank Cuban Crisis, Milestone Thoughts, Copper Goddess, Dennis Austin, P. Moses. Let me see. I'm running down. Yeah, P. Moses. I want to thank everybody. Cuban Crisis. I want to thank everybody. Maybach. I want to thank everybody for coming through. I appreciate it. Once again, I want to thank my queen over and over again for tapping in this session. Greatly appreciated. I smell the dinner in there. I'm about to go in there, you know. Before we go, I'm gonna play a promo, brother, real quick. Hang out for a second, brother. I'm gonna play the fire promo.
Oh, for sure.
My wife's book Fire 2 is coming out soon. Fire 1 is out, and get your copy of Fire by Angela King James. Go to Amazon, go to books, FYRE, and get your copy of Fire.
Get your copy of Fire. It's definitely a must-read. If you enjoy hood books, this one is it. Just like the title of the book, it's officially Fire. Get it on Amazon, paperback or Kindle.
My brother T. Riggles, again, brother, I appreciate you hanging out with me this evening, brother. I really appreciate it. And we're gonna
Hey,
get
that trailer you just that trailer is fire.
That's my son's work. He does that. He's nasty with that.
Really?
Yeah, it's my son's work. He's nasty with that, bro.
Oh yeah, he did that real well, and I know the part 2 to this trailer. You know, I can already see the face with the teeth. Yeah, it is really about to go down.
My brother, we're gonna get together Tuesday at 8:00. I look forward to it. I already got it marked. We're gonna leave. We're gonna come where we left off at, brother. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna resume the build at where we left off at. And
Okay.
I appreciate you for coming up, brother, and hanging out with me for a few hours. The pleasure is mine, brother.
All right, much love to you, man. Much love. I loved it, man. Thank you again.
Much love to you, brother. I loved it too. It was a powerful build, brother. I enjoyed it. Until next time, to the family, peace.